आप नाम से ही यहाँ पर पता लगा सकते हैं कि इट इज एक्चुअली ग्रुप ऑफ 20। तो ये 20 क्या है? दे 20 आर डिफरेंट नेशंस अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड। तो ये दरअसल एक इंटर गवर्नमेंटल फोरम है। हम कई इस तरीके से फोरम्स और प्लेटफॉर्म्स के बारे में बात करते हैं, तो वन सच प्लेटफॉर्म और फोरम इज एक्चुअली G20, जहां पर 19 अलग अलग कंट्रीज और एक यूरोपियन यूनियन जो है वो पार्टिसिपेट करते हैं, डिस्कशंस और डिबेट वहां पर करते हैं। तो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो मेजर इश्यूज हमें G20 में इस इंटर गवर्नमेंटल फोरम में जो देखने को मिलते हैं वो ग्लोबल इकोनॉमी से रिलेटेड होते हैं ज्यादातर, जो कि इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी से डील करते हैं, क्लाइमेट चेंज मिटिगेशन यानी कि क्लाइमेट चेंज और उससे रिलेटेड जो भी इंपॉर्टेंट से चीजें हैं उनके बारे में डिस्कशन करते हैं, और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट का कॉन्सेप्ट जो कि हाल ही में बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंस ले चुका है, तो सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के कॉन्सेप्ट पर यहाँ पर डिस्कशंस किए जाते हैं और चंद इंपॉर्टेंट से डिसीजंस भी लिए जाते हैं। आगे उनके बारे में पढ़ेंगे। तो सबसे पहले जानने की कोशिश करते हैं कि दरअसल ये ग्रुपिंग की जरूरत क्या पड़ गई थी। हम कई रीजनल ग्रुपिंग्स की भी बातें करते हैं, हम कई इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस की भी बात करते हैं, तो G20 की जरूरत हमें कब महसूस हुई? तो जैसे कि आप सभी को पता है कि वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 और 2 ने हमारी वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमी को, इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम को बहुत बुरी तरीके से मार दी हुई थी, और यूरोपियन कंट्रीज जो कि आज हेवीली इंडस्ट्रियलाइज्ड देखे जाते हैं, एट द टाइम ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 बहुत ही मीगर हो चुके थे, बहुत ही मजबूत थे, बहुत ही वीक थे। तो ऐसी जरूरत हमें महसूस हो रही थी कि हमें एक वर्ल्ड क्लास इंस्टीट्यूशन बनाने की जरूरत थी, हमें चंद ऐसे इनिशिएटिव्स लेने की जरूरत थी जो कि इंटरनेशनल लेवल पर हमारे फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम को सही तौर पर मेंटेन कर सके, कोऑर्डिनेशन हमारी इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी से रिलेटेड सही हो सके। और उससे रिलेटेड सबसे मेजर डिसीजन हम ऑलरेडी देखते हैं, विच इज ब्रेटन वुड कॉन्फ्रेंस जो चला हुआ था 1944 में, जिसके रिजल्ट के सबब हम इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड और वर्ल्ड बैंक जैसे इंस्टीट्यूशंस का एस्टेब्लिशमेंट देखते हैं। तो ऑन द सेम लाइन महज वर्ल्ड बैंक और इंटरनेशनल मॉनेटरी फंड का एस्टेब्लिशमेंट होना काफी नहीं था, इस तरीके के और भी कई वर्ल्ड क्लास इंस्टीट्यूशंस और इनिशिएटिव्स हमारे लिए बहुत ही जरूरी थे। तो उसी सच नीड में से बाहर आया हुआ एक कॉन्सेप्ट था द ग्रुपिंग ऑफ 20, इट इज G20। तो G7 जो थे वो नेशंस ऑलरेडी जो वन ऑफ द मोस्ट डेवलप्ड जो नेशंस थे 1970s में उन्होंने उनकी बैठक हुई थी, और G7 वहां से हमें एस्टेब्लिश होता हुआ देखने को मिलता है। मैं आपको आगे भी इसके बारे में थोड़ा बहुत बताऊंगा। तो G7 के इनिशिएटिव से जो है सबसे पहली बार हमें G20 का कॉन्सेप्ट देखने को मिलता है, खासकर ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस जब हो रहे थे 1990s में, और एशियन इकोनॉमीज जो थे वहां पर थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा खासा डेवलपमेंट दिखा रहे थे। तो यहाँ पर G7 नेशंस को पता चल गया कि अगर हमें वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर को सही तौर पर मेंटेन करना है, हमारे फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम्स को अगर हमें सही तौर पर मेंटेन करना है, तो हमें जस्ट डेवलप्ड नेशंस नहीं, हमें डेवलपिंग और अंडर डेवलप्ड नेशंस को भी साथ लेकर चलना है। क्योंकि उस टाइम फ्रेम में एशियन कंट्रीज जो खासकर इंडिया, ब्राजील, इस तरीके के जो इवन साउथ अमेरिकन नेशंस भी जो थे वो बहुत ही प्रोमिनेंस दिखा रहे थे, वो डेवलपमेंट में बहुत ही आगे जा रहे थे। तो इस तरीके के नए नए मार्केट्स को भी साथ लेकर चलना बहुत ही जरूरी था। उन्हें इंपॉर्टेंस पता चल गया कि इस तरीके के जो नेशन से वो बहुत ही क्रूशियल हो सकते हैं। सो दिस एक्चुअली पेव्ड वे फॉर द फॉर्मल एस्टैब्लिशमेंट ऑफ G20 ग्रुपिंग। तो वहां पर कैनेडियन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर पॉल मार्टिन साहब जो थे वो सबसे पहली बार चेयरमैन की तरह चूज किए गए थे फॉर दैट इनॉग्रल सेशन। लेकिन यहाँ पर एक खास बात ये थी कि 1999 में G20 का आइडिया जो पूरी तरीके से आता है, उसका एस्टेब्लिशमेंट भी होता है, लेकिन वो बहुत ही इरेगुलर था, यानी कि उसे पूरी तरीके से एक स्ट्रक्चरल और इंस्टीट्यूशनल फॉर्म उसे नहीं दिया गया था। तो सबसे दूसरा मेजर जो डिसीजन आता है एज फार एज एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ G20 इज कंसर्न, वो 2008 में आता है। आप सभी को पता है 2008 में पूरी दुनिया ग्लोबल फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस से गुजर रही थी, और खासकर यूएस जैसी कंट्री भी बहुत ही मजबूर थी इस फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस से गुजरने के लिए। तो एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वर्ल्ड लीडर्स को फिर से पता चल गया कि नहीं, और खासकर G20 लीडर्स को, कि वी आर द नेक्स्ट बिग थिंग इन दिस इकोनॉमी, इन दिस मार्केट। तो जाहिर सी बात है हमें साथ लेकर चलना पड़ेगा, हमें कंसेंसस बिल्ड करके ही, और हाईएस्ट पॉलिटिकल लेवल पर जब तक हम डिसीजंस नहीं लेंगे, हम एक इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल ऑर्डर को सस्टेन और सर्वाइव नहीं कर सकते। तो यही वो मेजर डिसीजन था 2008 में, जहां पर G20 लीडर्स ने एक यूनाइट डिसीजन लिया हुआ था, ठान लिया हुआ था कि वो हर साल एनुअली मीट करेंगे इन समिट्स पे। तो इन ऑर्डर टू प्रिपेयर फॉर दिस समिट्स द G20 फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स एंड सेंट्रल बैंक गवर्नर्स कंटिन्यू टू मीट ऑन देयर ओन ट्वाइस अ ईयर। तो हर साल जो हाईएस्ट पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स होते हैं कंट्रीज के, यानी कि अगर किसी कंट्री में प्राइम मिनिस्टर है और किसी कंट्री में प्रेसिडेंट्स, तो वहां पर ईयरली एक समिट होता है। मैं वो समिट्स किस तरीके से होते हैं उसके बारे में बताऊंगा। तो सेपरेटली अपार्ट फ्रॉम दोज इंपॉर्टेंट समिट्स, हर साल जो है 2 बार फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स और सेंट्रल बैंक के गवर्नर्स उन रेस्पेक्टिव कंट्रीज के वो मिलते हैं, एजेंडास वगैरह वो डिस्कस करते हैं। तो यहाँ पर अगर आप देखेंगे होलिस्टिकली आपको थोड़ा बहुत अच्छा खासा समझ में आ जाएगा कि किस तरीके से G20 का इजाद हुआ। तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं G7 जो कि उस टाइम फ्रेम में 1973-75 के आसपास ऑलरेडी वो डेवलप्ड थे। कनाडा, फ्रांस, जर्मनी, इटली, जापान, यूके और यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका। तो यहाँ पर ये फर्दर लेकर आगे जा रहे थे इंटरनेशनली एक ऐसा इंस्टीट्यूशन बनाने का, एक ऐसा ऑर्डर बनाने का जो सर्वाइव और सस्टेन कर सके। और 1997 में रशिया को भी इसमें इंक्लूड किया गया था और इसे G8 का ग्रुपिंग दिया हुआ था। और फाइनली 1999 में हमें G20 का ग्रुपिंग देखने को मिलता है। तो आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं इन सभी कंट्रीज को कलेक्टिवली G20 का मेंबर कहा जाता है। तो अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल दीज G7 और G8 नेशंस, अर्जेंटीना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, ब्राजील, चाइना, यूरोपियन यूनियन, इंडिया, इंडोनेशिया, मेक्सिको, सऊदी अरेबिया, साउथ अफ्रीका, साउथ कोरिया एंड टर्की आर एक्चुअली द G20 मेंबर्स। तो यूरोपियन यूनियन का भी रिप्रेजेंटेशन हमें यहाँ पर देखने को मिलता है। इसीलिए 19 कंट्रीज प्लस 1 यूरोपियन यूनियन, इन सभी को G20 का ग्रुपिंग कहा जाता है। तो देयर आर फ्यू परमानेंट गेस्ट इनवाइटीज भी जिन्हें रेगुलरली इसके समिट्स में बुलाया जाता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर भी रिप्रेजेंटेशन बहुत ही जरूरी है। तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं अफ्रीकन यूनियन, एशिया, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट क्रूशियल वन अगेन साउथ ईस्ट एशिया में, तो उन्हें भी यहाँ पर एज अ परमानेंट गेस्ट इनवाइटी बुलाया जाता है। फाइनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी बोर्ड, फूड एंड एग्रीकल्चर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, ILO, IMF, और खासकर स्पेन की खास बात है, स्पेन इकलौता ऐसा कंट्री है जो परमानेंट गेस्ट इनवाइटी की तरह G20 के समिट्स को हाजिर होता है, वहां पर रिप्रेजेंटेशन देता है। तो बाकी के भी आप देख सकते हैं न्यू पार्टनरशिप फॉर अफ्रीकन डेवलपमेंट, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फॉर इकोनॉमिक कोऑपरेशन एंड डेवलपमेंट, यूनाइटेड नेशंस, वर्ल्ड बैंक ग्रुप, WHO और वर्ल्ड ट्रेड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को भी यहाँ पर परमानेंट गेस्ट इनवाइटीज की तरह बुलाया जाता है। तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि कितना क्रूशियल G20 इनफॉर्मल या फिर G20 ये इंटर गवर्नमेंटल फोरम है। इसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? अच्छी बात है सर, तो हमें इस तरीके के क्या बाकी के भी कंट्रीज या फिर इस तरीके के ग्रुपिंग्स नहीं है क्या? एशियान भी है, सार्क के भी बारे में हमने बात किया, ऐसे कई हैं। तो इसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है? G20 किस लिए एक प्रोमिनेंट प्लेस रखता है? तो G20 बहुत ही स्ट्रेटेजिक रोल प्ले करता है, खासकर हमारे ग्लोबल इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ और प्रॉस्पेरिटी को इंश्योर करने में, सिक्योर हमारे फ्यूचर बनाने में, खासकर एज फार एज आवर इकोनॉमिक स्ट्रेंथ इज कंसर्न। क्योंकि यहाँ पर आप आंकड़े अगर देखें तो G20 मेंबर्स जो जितने भी 19 कंट्रीज प्लस 1 यूरोपियन यूनियन है, वो सभी मिलाकर 60% ऑफ द वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं, 80% ऑफ द ग्लोबल GDP को वो रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं और 75% ऑफ ग्लोबल एक्सपोर्ट्स को वो इकलौते रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि किस लिए G20 ग्रुपिंग इतना सिग्निफिकेंट है और पूरी दुनिया जो है वो रुकती है देखने के लिए कि G20 का मीटिंग क्या चल रहा है और वहां पर आउटकम क्या था, एजेंडा क्या था, डिस्कशंस क्या थे। क्योंकि वर्चुअली 2/3 ऑफ द वर्ल्ड का कहीं ना कहीं हम देख सकते हैं इंपॉर्टेंट जो पॉपुलेशन का रिप्रेजेंटेशन हो, ग्लोबल GDP का हो या फिर ग्लोबल एक्सपोर्ट्स का हो, वो हमें इन G20 नेशन से ही देखने को मिलता है। और G20 काम किस तरीके से करता है? देखिए, प्रेसिडेंसी जो है वो हर साल रोटेट होती है अमंग ऑल द मेंबर्स। तो 19 जो कंट्रीज हैं और यूरोपियन यूनियन जो है उनके बीच ये प्रेसिडेंसी जो है वो इवॉल्व होती ही रहती है। और खासकर यहाँ पर आपको एक टर्म जाना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज ट्रॉइका। Troika, with the country that holds the presidency working together with its predecessor and successor are also known as a Troika to ensure the continuity of the agenda. तो हर 3 साल के लिए जो है ऑलरेडी मेंबर्स को चूज किया जाता है, अलग अलग ग्रुपिंग्स होते हैं, मैं आपको उसके बारे में भी बताऊंगा। तो इस ट्रॉइका को जो है वो मिलाकर 3 साल के प्रेसिडेंसीज दिए जाते हैं। अब मान लेते हैं कि करेंटली इटली, जिसने पिछले साल ही G20 समिट को होस्ट किया हुआ था 2021, अभी करेंटली 2022 इंडोनेशिया बाली में हो रहा है और 2023 इंडिया न्यू दिल्ली में जो है ये होस्ट होगा। तो इन 3 कंट्रीज को मिलाकर ट्रॉइका कहा जाता है। तो एजेंडा जो G20 इटली में सेट करता है वो इंडोनेशिया और इंडिया में भी कंटिन्यू होता है। तो बाद इनके अगेन 3 ट्रॉइकास को चूज किया जाता है जो कि फर्दर आगे नेक्स्ट 3 साल के लिए प्रेसिडेंसी होल्ड करेंगे और इंपॉर्टेंट से एजेंडास डिस्कस करेंगे। और G20 का कोई भी परमानेंट सेक्रेटेरिएट नहीं है। हम सार्क की बात करते हैं, एशियान की बात करते हैं, इन सभी के हेडक्वार्टर्स कहीं ना कहीं होते हैं, सेक्रेटेरिएट्स होते हैं। यहाँ पर परमानेंट सेक्रेटेरिएट नहीं होता, इसीलिए इसे बहुत ही यूनिक और डायनामिक माना जाता है कि जिस कंट्री में जो डिस्कशन होता है या फिर जिस कंट्री ने होस्ट किया हुआ होता है वहां पर नया सा सेक्रेटेरिएट बनाया जाता है, क्योंकि जहां पर वो एजेंडा जो डिस्कशन किए गए हैं वो उसी कंट्री से ही इनिशिएट किए जाते हैं और वहीं से दे मेक श्योर दैट दे ऑल आर फुलफिल्ड। agenda and the work coordination is completely by the G20 leaders personal representatives known as शेरपास। तो हर कंट्री अपने अपने रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स को भेजती है चूज करके। तो इंडिया ने अपने शेरपा को जो है पीयूष गोयल साहब को चुनकर भेजा हुआ था, एंड टुगेदर विद फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स एंड सेंट्रल बैंक गवर्नर्स। तो ये तीनों पोजीशंस बहुत ही क्रूशियल है। रिमेंबर, एक तो शेरपा जो कि रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं उस कंट्री को, ठीक है, वहां पर पर्सनल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स उस G20 लीडर्स के मान लेते हैं कि इंडिया में तो प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जी है, तो उन्होंने अपना रिप्रेजेंट देने के लिए कहीं ना कहीं पीयूष गोयल साहब को भेजा हुआ है। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर निर्मला सीतारमन जी और सेंट्रल बैंक गवर्नर, हमारे यहाँ तो आरबीआई है सेंट्रल बैंक, तो शक्तिकांता दास साहब। तो ये तीनों बहुत ही क्रूशियल होते हैं इस G20 के वर्क के लिए। तो इसी तरीके से 19 कंट्रीज और यूरोपियन यूनियन भी अपने इस तरीके के रिप्रेजेंटेशंस भेजता है। और प्रेसिडेंसी का सिलेक्शन कैसा होता है, अभी हमने देखा, अच्छी बात है, ट्रॉइका है, हर 3 साल एजेंडा चेंज होते हैं, कंटिन्यूटी के लिए भी अच्छी बात है, लेकिन सिलेक्ट किस तरीके से होते हैं। तो 19 कंट्रीज जो पूरे हैं ना, उन सभी को 5 अलग अलग ग्रुपिंग्स में डिवाइड किया गया है। ऑफ कोर्स यूरोपियन यूनियन जो है वो रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ सेपरेट कंट्रीज है, तो उसे किसी ग्रुपिंग में नहीं रखा गया है। तो ईच हैविंग नो मोर देन 4 कंट्रीज, द प्रेसिडेंसी रोटेट्स बिटवीन ईच ग्रुप। एवरी ईयर द G20 सेलेक्ट्स अ कंट्री फ्रॉम अनदर ग्रुप टू बी प्रेसिडेंट। तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं 5 अलग अलग ग्रुपिंग्स अलग अलग रीजन्स को रिप्रेजेंट करते हुए आपको देखे जाएंगे। तो हर ग्रुप में से, अलग अलग ग्रुप में से एक एक कैंडिडेट को पिक किया जाता है, ताकि वो कुमुलेटिवली एक साल के बाद प्रेसिडेंसी चूज की जाए। तो आप देख सकते हैं इंडिया जो है वो ग्रुप 2 का हिस्सा है। तो इस तरीके से इन 5 अलग अलग ग्रुपिंग्स में से, कंट्रीज में से चुने जाते हैं, यानी कि वही कुछ चुनते हैं, ऐसा नहीं कि कोई सेपरेट प्रोसेस है, वही कंट्रीज ही चुनते हैं अपने बीच में से कि कौन जो है वो नेक्स्ट रिप्रेजेंटेशन देगा। तो अब तक जो है जो जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट से G20 समिट्स हैं उन सभी के बारे में हम थोड़ा बहुत देखते हैं। तो सबसे पहला, जैसे कि आप सभी को पता है, वॉशिंगटन डीसी में हुआ था, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका, फॉलोड बाय यूके लंदन, एंड देन थर्ड समिट जो था वो अगेन यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स पिट्सबर्ग में हुआ था, फोर्थ कनाडा टोरंटो में हुआ था, फिफ्थ समिट जो था वो साउथ कोरिया सियोल में हुआ था, सिक्स्थ फ्रांस कैनिस, सेवेंथ मेक्सिको में था, और एट्थ रशिया सेंट पीटर्सबर्ग में हुआ था, नाइन्थ ऑस्ट्रेलिया ब्रिस्बेन, 10th टर्की में हुआ था, और 11th जो था वो चाइना ग्वांगझो में हुआ था, 12th G20 समिट जर्मनी में था, और 13th G20 समिट अर्जेंटीना में था, 14th जापान ओसाका में था, 15th सऊदी अरेबिया रियाद में था, और 16th इटली रोम में हुआ था हाल ही में ही। तो हर G20 समिट में कहीं ना कहीं कोई ना कोई इंपॉर्टेंट से डिक्लेरेशंस और डिसीजंस लिए ही गए थे। तो बहुत ही क्रूशियल हैं ये सभी समिट्स। तो अभी एज ऑफ नो 2022 के लिए जो कि 17th समिट चलने वाला है, वो इंडोनेशिया होस्ट कर रहा है करेंटली, विच इज इन बाली। तो 2023 के लिए जो कि इंडिया जो है जिसने होस्टशिप एक्ट की हुई है, तो वो मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली न्यू दिल्ली में हो सकता है। तो इससे रिलेटेड अभी जैसे कि मैंने वीडियो के पहले में आपको कहा कि हाल ही में ही कैबिनेट के इंपॉर्टेंट से डिसीजंस लिए गए थे कि सेक्रेटेरिएट कहां पर होगा, कौन कौन क्या क्या रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज लेगा, वो सभी एलोकेट और असाइन किए गए हैं 2023 के लिए। और 2024 के लिए भी एक्सपेक्टेड है ब्राजील। अभी कुछ फुल फ्लेज कहा नहीं गया है, क्योंकि जैसे कि मैंने कहा कि ट्रॉइका यहाँ पर तीन कंट्रीज जो मिलकर काम करते हैं। तो 19th समिट जो है वो एक्सपेक्टेड 2024 ब्राजील कर सकता है, और 2025 के लिए साउथ अफ्रीका कर सकता है। एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम द लीडर लेवल, हाईएस्ट लेवल जो के समिट्स ऑलरेडी चलते हैं, जहां पर कंट्रीज के प्रेसिडेंट्स या प्राइम मिनिस्टर जाते हैं, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट मिनिस्टीरियल लेवल मीटिंग्स भी यहां पर होते हैं। तो 1999 में सबसे पहली बार फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स एंड सेंट्रल बैंक गवर्नर्स की मीटिंग स्टार्ट हुई थी। ऑफकोर्स सबसे पहला स्पार्क यहीं से आता है, क्योंकि हाईएस्ट पॉलिटिकल लेवल मीटिंग जो शुरू हुए थे वो 2008 से हुए थे रेगुलरली। तो 1999 से ही फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स और सेंट्रल बैंक गवर्नर्स के मीटिंग स्टार्ट हुए थे, मिनिस्ट्रियल लेवल मीटिंग्स। 2010 में से और थोड़ा एक्सपेंड करके लेबर और एम्प्लॉयमेंट मिनिस्टर्स के भी मीटिंग्स रखे गए थे G20 कंट्रीज के। 2017 में फॉरेन मिनिस्टर्स लेवल मीटिंग्स भी रखे गए थे, और 2012 से ट्रेड मिनिस्टर्स या फिर कॉमर्स मिनिस्टर जो होते हैं उनसे रिलेटेड भी G20 मिनिस्ट्रियल लेवल मीटिंग्स रखे गए थे, और सिंस देन कंटिन्यूअसली वो चलते ही रहे हैं, और चंद इंपॉर्टेंट से डिस्कशंस वहां पर भी होते रहे हैं। And apart from all these ministerial level meetings and apart from all these highest political level meetings, G20 engagement groups भी मेंटेन करता है। आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं कि बिजनेस ग्रुप्स को, बिजनेस इंटरेस्ट ग्रुप्स को रिप्रेजेंट करने के लिए भी जो है वो B20 ग्रुप बनाया गया था। ठीक है, 2008 में से एस्टैब्लिश किया गया था, और 2010 में से रिकॉग्नाइजेशन मिला हुआ था। तो लेबर से रिलेटेड भी ट्रेड यूनियंस और अदर एम्प्लॉइज रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स, यानी कि यहाँ पर इन 20 कंट्रीज या फिर इन 19 कंट्रीज और यूरोपियन यूनियन के जो रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स हैं बिजनेस के, वो वहां पर एंगेजमेंट ग्रुप्स की तरह वहां पर आते हैं। सिमिलरली यहाँ पर भी सेशंस और समिट्स चलते हैं। तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं L20 जो था वो 2008 में फाउंड किया गया था और उसे रिकॉग्नाइजेशन 2011 में मिला था। C20 दैट इज सिविल सोसाइटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो एनजीओ होते हैं 20 कंट्रीज में, उनके लिए भी एक फोरम बनाया गया था, फिर एक एंगेजमेंट ग्रुप जो कि 2013 में इसे रिकॉग्नाइजेशन मिला हुआ था। यूथ के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स के लिए भी वही 20 एंगेजमेंट ग्रुप बनाया गया था। थिंक टैंक्स जो ग्लोबल थिंक टैंक्स होते हैं खासकर हमारे G20 कंट्रीज के, उनके लिए भी एक एंगेजमेंट ग्रुप बनाया गया था। वुमेन, खासकर वुमेन के रिप्रेजेंटेशन के लिए, वुमेन राइट्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के लिए भी जो है 2015 में W20 एंगेजमेंट ग्रुप एस्टैब्लिश किया गया था। S20 फॉर साइंस एंड रिसर्च रिप्रेजेंटेटिव्स एंड फाइनली U20 फॉर अर्बन रिप्रेजेंटेशंस जो कि मेयर्स और गवर्नर्स होते हैं मेजर अर्बन सिटीज के। G20 में जितने भी मेजर बड़े बड़े अर्बन सिटीज हैं उन सभी के गवर्नर्स और मेयर्स के रिप्रेजेंटेशन के लिए वहां पर एंगेजमेंट के लिए G20 एंगेजमेंट ग्रुप्स बनाए गए। तो आप देख सकते हैं कि किस लिए G20 इतना सिग्निफिकेंट माना जाता है। और फिर हम एक बार देखते हैं कि इसका सिग्निफिकेंस क्या है, किस किस तरीके से ये काम करने की कोशिश करता है, क्यों ये सबसे हटकर है। स्ट्रेंथनिंग फाइनेंशियल रेगुलेशंस, ऑफ कोर्स 75% ग्लोबल एक्सपोर्ट्स हम देख सकते हैं। अच्छा खासा जीडीपी का रिप्रेजेंटेशन दुनिया का यहाँ पर देखने को मिलता है। तो फाइनेंशियल रेगुलेशंस को ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम स्ट्रेंथन कर सकते हैं इनकी मदद से। कोऑर्डिनेटेड फिजिकल एंड मॉनिटरी स्टिमुलस, मैंने आपको कई बार कहा कि फिजिकल जब वर्ड है इट इज रिलेटेड विद फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री, और मॉनिटरी जब वर्ड है तो इट इज रिलेटेड विद सेंट्रल बैंक और आरबीआई। तो यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं कि कंट्री में भी, इंडिविजुअल कंट्री में भी जो टैंडम होता है जो फिजिकल फाइनेंस मिनिस्ट्री और जो उसकी सेंट्रल बैंक के बीच, वो भी कोऑर्डिनेट हो, सही तौर पर उसका स्टिमुलस भी आगे बढ़ता रहे। क्योंकि यहाँ पर जो मेजर डिसीजंस लिए जाते हैं वो इंडिविजुअल लेवल पर कंट्रीज में ही तो उन्हें फुलफिल किया जाता है। और सबसे अच्छी बात G20 की यह है कि ये फ्लेक्सिबल है और इंक्लूसिव है। नो डाउट हर साल प्रेसिडेंसी अलग अलग कंट्रीज के पास जाती है, हर 3 साल में एक बार एजेंडा चेंज किए जाते हैं। तो बहुत अच्छी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी और सभी का इंक्लूसिवनेस भी हमें यहाँ पर देखने को मिलता है। क्योंकि जो कंट्री होस्ट करता है वहीं पर सेक्रेटेरिएट बनाया जाता है और वहीं पर से जो इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस वहां पर लिए गए हैं वहीं से उसका काम शुरू होता है। लेंडिंग में भी बहुत ही जबरदस्त इंक्रीज हुआ है, क्योंकि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट टारगेट जो G20 के कंट्रीज ने रखा हुआ था वो इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस को रिस्ट्रक्चर ही करना था। यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं रिफॉर्म्स भी लाए गए थे, IMF, वर्ल्ड बैंक जैसे इंपॉर्टेंट इंस्टीट्यूशंस में भी। डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज को भी बहुत ही जबरदस्त सा स्कोप मिला हुआ था यहाँ पर लेंडिंग्स वगैरह के लिए भी, ताकि वो भी आगे बढ़ सके। ट्रेड फैसिलिटेशन अग्रीमेंट्स कई साइन किए गए, क्योंकि G20 कंट्रीज जब समिट्स में मिलते हैं तो वहां पर हम देख सकते हैं इंडिविजुअल कंट्रीज भी एक दूसरे के साथ ट्रेड फैसिलिटेशन अग्रीमेंट्स भी साइन कर सकते हैं। तो ओवरऑल ट्रेड और इकोनॉमिक इन्फ्लुएंस भी बहुत जबरदस्त सा होता है। एंड द वन मोर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग इज इट इज टू बिग टू फेल। अभी हमने जितने भी आंकड़े ऊपर देखे हुए थे 60% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन रिप्रेजेंट करता है, इंपोर्ट्स और एक्सपोर्ट्स इसके किस तरीके से है, तो ये बहुत ही बड़ा है फेल होने के लिए। यानी कि दैट वेरी ह्यूजनेस इटसेल्फ इज मोर देन इनफ कि ये रेसिलिएंट एक ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म है या फिर एक रेसिलिएंट इंटर गवर्नमेंटल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है कहने के लिए। और चंद इंपॉर्टेंट से इश्यूज जो अब तक G20 ने एड्रेस किए हुए थे, फाइनेंशियल मार्केट से रिलेटेड चंद इंपॉर्टेंट से डिसीजंस लिए गए थे, टैक्स और फिजिकल पॉलिसी से रिलेटेड भी इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस लिए गए थे, ट्रेड, एग्रीकल्चर, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, एनर्जी, करप्शन, वुमेन एम्पावरमेंट, एजेंडा 2030 सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंटल गोल्स जिन्हें हम कहते हैं, क्लाइमेट चेंज, ग्लोबल हेल्थ और एंटी टेररिज्म पर भी मेजर इश्यूज जो थे उन सभी के बारे में G20 के अलग अलग समिट्स में हमने डिस्कशन देखे हुए थे। और सिंस कोविड तो ग्लोबल हेल्थ तो बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट सा रोल प्ले कर रहा है। और इंडिया जो कि 2023 का होस्ट होने वाला है, तो कौन से प्रायोरिटी के एरियाज हम देख सकते हैं जो कि इंडिया ने ऑलरेडी डिसाइड किए हुए हैं। यहाँ पर इंडिया इन पर फोकस जरूर कर सकता है। टैक्स एवेशन से रिलेटेड इश्यूज हम हाईलाइट यहाँ पर कर सकते हैं। एक कंट्री से दूसरे कंट्रीज में टैक्स एवेशन बहुत ही हमें ज्यादा देखने को मिलता है। फाइट अगेंस्ट करप्शन के खिलाफ भी हम आवाज उठा सकते हैं। और तीसरा सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो कि हर जगह पर सिंस प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी हैज कम, इन्होंने बहुत ही कोशिश की हुई है ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म पर इस इशू को लाने की, दैट इज टेरर फंडिंग एंड स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड टेररिज्म। क्योंकि इंडिया खुद प्रॉब्लम फेस कर चुका है इससे, तो ये भी हमारे लिए एक अच्छा कॉन्सेप्ट हो सकता है यहाँ पर हाईलाइट करने के लिए। कटिंग द कॉस्ट ऑफ रेमिटेंसेस, ऑफ कोर्स वन ऑफ द मोस्ट मेजर माइग्रेंट्स जो हमें देखने को मिलते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स ये कहावत भी है कि पूरी दुनिया में आपको हर कोने में कहीं ना कहीं एक चाइनीज और एक इंडियन देखने को मिलेंगे। तो जाहिर सी बात है कि ग्लोबल रेमिटेंस से रिलेटेड भी हम थोड़ा बहुत कॉस्ट कट करवा सकते हैं। और फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री भी हमारी टैप करने का यहाँ पर बहुत ही सुनहरा मौका है हमें। की ड्रग्स पर हम मार्केट एक्सेस के लिए भी बात कर सकते हैं। रिफॉर्म्स इन इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, ऑफ कोर्स ये तो एक्टिवली ऑलरेडी चल रहा है, लेकिन फिर भी हम ब्रिक्स का भी हिस्सा है, तो वहां पर न्यू डेवलपमेंट बैंक हम देख सकते हैं। तो इस तरीके से नए नए बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस और ऑलरेडी जो इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस चल रहे हैं उन पर भी हम रिफॉर्म्स लाने की बात कर सकते हैं। और सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट सी चीज, रियल एक्शन ऑन क्लाइमेट चेंज। तो जितने भी कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज चलते हैं यूएनएफसीसीसी के, वहां पर बड़ी बड़ी प्रोमिसेस जरूर किए जाते हैं, लेकिन रियल एक्शन वहां पर नहीं होता। तो इंडिया ने भी ऑफकोर्स हाल ही में जो कॉन्फ्रेंस ऑफ पार्टीज 26 ग्लासगो में हुआ था, वहां पर प्राइम मिनिस्टर मोदी जी ने 5 प्लेजेस दिए हुए थे। तो हम इस तरीके के इश्यूज भी वहां पर हाईलाइट कर सकते हैं कि वी डोंट नीड द टॉक, वी नीड द वर्क। चैलेंजेस क्या क्या है ओवरऑल G20 ग्रुपिंग में अगर हम बात कर सके? नो एनफोर्समेंट मैकेनिज्म, बिल्कुल यहां पर हम डिस्कशंस तो जरूर चलाते हैं, लेकिन उसे एनफोर्स किस तरीके से करेंगे ये मैकेनिज्म हमने अब तक नहीं बनाया G20 में। नॉट लीगली बाइंडिंग। आज के जमाने में जितने भी इंपॉर्टेंट ग्रुपिंग्स, इंपॉर्टेंट इंटर गवर्नमेंटल फॉरम्स, प्लेटफॉर्म्स आप देखते हैं, सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो वो फेस करते हैं इज एक्चुअली द वॉलेंटरी नेचर ऑफ देयर अग्रीमेंट्स। वहां पर अग्रीमेंट्स तो साइन किए जाते हैं, बड़े बड़े बातें तो वहां पर की जाती है, लेकिन वो लीगली बाइंडिंग नहीं होती, यानी कि वो रिकमेंडेटरी नेचर पर होती हैं। तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए। मोस्टली ग्लोबल हेल्थ को सिक्योर करना, ऑफ कोर्स पोस्ट कोविड तो सबसे बड़ा हर्डल, अगर नॉट जस्ट G20, दुनिया के आगे अगर कुछ था तो वो ग्लोबल हेल्थ को सिक्योर करना था। रिफ्यूलिंग और फ्यूलिंग इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी, एंड ऑफ कोर्स पोस्ट कोविड जो कि कंटिन्यूस लॉकडाउन वगैरह पड़ रहे थे, तो इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी, जैसे कि रिसिलियंट इकोनॉमी की हम बात करते हैं कि जितनी मांग उसे बढ़ेगी उतना ही ज्यादा और उतना ही जल्दी वो बाउंस बैक करेगा। तो इस तरीके की इकोनॉमिक रिकवरी के बारे में क्या सोचेगा G20? डिजिटल रेवोल्यूशन की हम बात करते हैं, ऑफ कोर्स थोड़ा वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज में अच्छी बात है कि वहां पर इंटरनेट कनेक्शन हो या फिर डिजिटल लिटरेसी ज्यादा हो, लेकिन जब हम ईस्टर्न हेमिस्फीयर की ज्यादातर जब हम बात करते हैं, क्योंकि इस ग्रुपिंग में हम इंडिया, सऊदी अरेबिया, इस तरीके की कंट्रीज भी देखते हैं, तो वहां पर डिजिटल रेवोल्यूशन हम कैसे लाएंगे? क्लाइमेट चेंज रिस्क सबसे बड़ा एज ऑफ नाउ। अभी हाल ही में भी इंटर गवर्नमेंटल पैनल और क्लाइमेट चेंज के रिपोर्ट्स भी आए हुए थे, तो उसे किस तरीके से डील करेगा, ये वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट चैलेंजेस है। इसके आगे प्लास्टिक से रिलेटेड भी हम मुहिम चला रहे हैं, तो लेट अस वेट एंड वॉच। और ग्लोबल फ्रेमवर्क फॉर टैक्स रिफॉर्म, स्पेसिफिकली जो कि अभी हमने देखा कि टैक्स एवेजन जैसे प्रॉब्लम्स भी हम फेस कर रहे हैं, तो ग्लोबल फ्रेमवर्क की बहुत ही जरूरत है टैक्स रिफॉर्म्स के लिए, जो यूनानिमसली ये सभी G20 कंट्रीज एक्सेप्ट करेंगे और ये लीगली बाइंडिंग होनी चाहिए। तो वे अहेड क्या हो सकता है इसका? टिल नाउ अगर सच बताएं तो G20 व्हेन कंपेयर्ड विद अदर रीजनल ग्रुपिंग्स या फिर अदर इंटर गवर्नमेंटल फोरम्स बहुत ही सही ट्रैक पर जा रहा है। कंसिस्टेंसी वो मेंटेन कर रहा है, क्योंकि बाकी अभी सार्क के बारे में भी हमने एक वीडियो बनाया हुआ, अगर आपने नहीं देखा तो आप एक बार जाकर जरूर देखें, तो वहां पर भी हमने देखा कंसिस्टेंसी ही नहीं थी वहां पर। तो इस तरीके का काम G20 में हमें नहीं देखने को मिल रहा है। कंसिस्टेंसी वो लोग मेंटेन कर रहे हैं और इंपॉर्टेंट से डिसीजंस ले रहे हैं, और इंपॉर्टेंट डिसीजंस ले भी रहे हैं, इवन दो दे माइट नॉट बी लीगली बाइंडिंग, लेकिन ज्यादा से ज्यादा वो उन्हें फॉलो करने की कोशिश भी कर रहे हैं। दूसरा सबसे मोर इंपॉर्टेंट वे अहेड जो होगा, स्टडी ऑफ चेंजिंग डिमांड फॉर स्किल्स। ऑफ कोर्स स्किल्स हैव बीन वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट फॉर डिस्कशन एंड डिबेट। इंडिया जैसा एक कंट्री जो कि सेकंड टॉप मोस्ट पॉपुलेटेड कंट्री है, लेकिन वहां पर स्किल के लेवल्स बहुत ही कम है, लगभग 40 से 45% के आसपास ही है जिनके पास एडिक्वेट स्किल है एम्प्लॉयमेंट के लिए। तो G20 नेशंस किस तरीके से इस पर काम करेगा? मोस्टली दिस कैन बी द नेक्स्ट वे अहेड। और टेक्नोलॉजिकल इनोवेशंस पर थोड़ा बहुत फोकस करेंगे तो बहुत ही अच्छा हो सकता है। इंडस्ट्री में इनोवेशन के लिए खासकर जो है पॉलिसीज वो बना सकते हैं, और इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट से रिलेटेड भी इंपॉर्टेंट से डिस्कशंस करेंगे तो बहुत ही अच्छा होगा। और रीडिफाइन करने की हमें जरूरत है कि अरीना क्या क्या होंगे कोऑपरेशन के। ऑफकोर्स हमने देखा कि अंडर द अर्थ जो कुछ भी मिल रहा है वो सभी के बारे में डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। हाँ, माना कि G20 एक फाइनेंस रिलेटेड, एक टैक्सेशन रिलेटेड, इस तरीके से इकोनॉमी से रिलेटेड है, लेकिन यहाँ पर क्लाइमेट चेंज की भी हम बात कर रहे हैं, यहाँ पर हम ग्लोबल हेल्थ की भी वगैरह की भी बात कर रहे हैं। तो रीडिफाइन करने की जरूरत है कि अरीनास क्या क्या होंगे कोऑपरेशन के और किस तरीके से होंगे। और सबसे आखिर में जो सबसे कंसोलिडेटेड एक वे अहेड जो G20 के लिए जो देखने को मिलता है, दैट इज लेस टॉक एंड मोर एक्शन। रेगुलरली वो मिल जरूर रहे हैं, एजेंडा सेट कर रहे हैं, रेगुलरली फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर्स वगैरह की भी मीटिंग हो रही है, लेकिन एक्शन कितना हुआ है उस पर? लीगली बाइंडिंग एग्रीमेंट्स क्यों नहीं हो रहे हैं? तो ये थी चंद बातें आपको जाननी थी ग्रुप ऑफ 20 या फिर G20 इंटर गवर्नमेंटल ग्रुपिंग के बारे में।
Good evening to one and all. We are so happy and delighted to be here with you all on this great platform of G20 International. As we all know, every Sunday around about 2 p.m. UAE time and 3:30 India time, and with the respective timings of across the globe, we promptly meet to discuss on global issues with the tag name of G20 International. Well, it's so happy to have you all, and we are so delighted to welcome you all gracefully on this grand session of G20 International. What is this G20 International Forum means, and what we have been doing in this session is that we have been discussing on the global issues. A quick introduction about the actual G20 Forum. The G20 is nothing but the group of 20 is an intergovernmental forum comprising of 19 countries with the European Union, EU, and it works to address the major issues related to the global economy. And so, in following suit with that, we meet on every Sunday to take up certain issues of the global arena, and we just try to discuss on that, and we just try to give you solutions. Following suit with that, we have addressed so many related issues of global economy, such as international financial stability, climatic change, and sustainable development as well. So we proudly would say that this is the 9th session of G20 International. So this is where we started about talking about G20 plan, exactly how to go about it and what we will bring in this forum. Like it started in the month of February, and phase cycle 1 it will go till May. As you can see, we are today on international financial architecture and growth. And the next 4 sessions are going to cover the topic of international taxation, trade and investment, and 2020 agenda and development, sustainable development, and health reform. So we will go till June. This is what the whole planner is all about. And thanks to Dr. Srividhya ji, and he has been very helpful in just allowing to conduct this session. And end of the day, people would love to know what is the outcome of this session. Like every Sunday we are meeting and we're covering about different topics and what is the thing. All these presentations which have been happening through the session will be presented as a journal, basically, and from the journal it will be made into a patent which will be submitted to the Indian government to Dr. Srividhya Sukumar. And so, during the November 2023 session, which is going to happen in New Delhi, we will have a chance, we will have an opportunity to place our voices in such a meeting. That's what we're working for. So moving ahead, the first session, somebody was mentioning, basically it starts with the education. We start with education 360, where we were talking about inclusive, equitable, relevant, quality education, which will create lifelong learning opportunities for all. We had eminent personalities who were talking about the different aspects of education as such. We were talking about satellite education, which will summarizingly, which will come to be education for all. That is, education is not only my birthright, it's not only a commodity, it is a right to education, where education at any time, anywhere should be available to anybody in any part of the globe. That's what we're talking about. Moving ahead, we had Shakti Spectrum, which was dedicated for women empowerment. Our presidency talked about a paradigm shift from women development to women-led development, where we had eminent speakers who were talking about the SMEs for women entrepreneurs and about women safety and security, their diversified economic growth and building digital resilience for them, and developing future skills for women. And during that session, we had distinguished special guests from Her Excellency Laila Al-Rahal Al-Etwani, who was the Goodwill Ambassador and who is the founder CEO of the Business Gate UAE. She participated in the session, and we had eminent speakers who addressed all these topics that were given, the pointers that were given. Moving ahead, we talked about the youth empowerment, where our presidency had global youth leadership and partnership, where our leaders, our speakers and the leaders talked about lead to change with the future of work, returning to Industry 4.0, developing innovation in 21st century skill, climatic change and disaster risk reduction, maintaining a sustainable way of life, youth in democracy and governance, and ushering for era of no war. And so moving ahead, Next session was on science spectrum, STEM to stream, the team. Our presidency talked about skilled workforce for strong, sustainable, health and balanced growth, where we instituted, incorporated innovative ideas for strategic framework of skill development, sustaining robust training policies and systems with diverse realities and common to different challenges that are being with. If I end of the day, relating it to the art of living with sync with the nature, that was the thing. And during the session, we had eminent personalities from UAE and also from India participated during the session and contributed to it. And we had a scientist from who was ex-ISRO scientist who took part in the session. Moving ahead, our next session was on entrepreneurship and MSME, where we welcomed and we discussed about micro and small micro medium scale industries, SMEs, and investment to uplift industrial and social economy, and create industry financial atmosphere suitable for sustainable development, and such that we had different personalities from UAE and India participating. Yes. And speakers of the day. And moving ahead, the next session was on sustainable resources, efficient and sustainable use of natural resources with 3 R's and RE dialogue, where we had eminent personalities from India and also from UAE participated in during the session. We had His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Saeed Al-Kindri, former Minister of Environment and Water from UAE participated in the session, with Ms. Alia Al-Kindri. She also contributed to the next session. And moving ahead, we had a session, exclusive session on agriculture and food safety, where our presidency was on global view on GVC patterns, opportunities and work policies, and which had as epitome or registered as be the change that we wish to see with the 3R slogan, where we had the chief guest of Mr. T.C. Bansal, Secretary, National Academy of Agricultural Sciences, participated with Mr. Raj Kapoor, the President of International Competence Center of Organic Agriculture, ICCOA, and Mr. Dr. Venkat Reddy, who is a research scientist and a founder of VIP Pharma Private Limited, participated in that. And also with always be related to, on a very lighter stage of it, where we had Mr. Manoj Zanwar, who was a great sales and marketing lead of Godavari Industries, participated in it. Our next session was on digitalization and innovation, where our presidency had the next NPR, next production revolution, where we talked about, this is more related to Mr. Venkat's topic. I missed him for the session, sorry. Somehow we will catch up with the second cycle of what they're thinking. So we talked about the diffusion of the new production technologies and what the governments can do, developing a foresight about the future productions, what the government can do, productivity raising technologies benefit the economy, how they can contribute to it, and new materials in the next production revolution, how the whole thing can contribute to the digital technologies and the future production. Moving ahead, and inclusion and growth, where during our session we talked about, and this session definitely we had our Mr. Balaji was part of the session, which we talked about accelerated inclusive resilient growth, facilitating coordination among global bodies to support especially global financial inclusion efforts of G20 and non-country countries. Moving ahead, during the session, we had our chief guest, Mr. Walid Abdul Malik, who was the former director of business registration, PRI, the Department of Economics, Dubai, participated as chief guest, and we had eminent speakers. Along with them was Mr. Sabu Thomas, a former chairman of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, and also Mr. Pilavan, the chairman of ASP Auditing, ASP Management and Consultancy Firm, also participated in the session. Moving ahead, today's session of International Financial Architecture with our presidency as accelerated, inclusive, and resilient growth. So with all these sessions, we have completed 9 weeks of G20 International Series. So we would look forward for more and more cooperation, more and more collaboration with every one of you. And we take this opportunity for all those people who have patronized us right from the beginning, right from the inception until this day. Really, it was great, wonderful having you all here. And with all your great support, we'll be able to do much more towards our objective. As our objective, as I said, We will prepare a module, we'll prepare a journal, and we'll prepare a patent which will be submitted to the Government of India. That's what we're looking at. Thank you so much. And
here we are gathered here. So since last we can say 6 months we are working for this, and I welcome all of you. So whatever the we can say, again I am saying, whatever you have the vision and mission, how you can do, as we are seeing that since last many of the sessions the chartered accountants and CA associations has joined, and it is our privilege and we can say greatness that such type of persons has joined here. But we have to work on a practical. I believe on a practical work. So whatever we can do, we should launch. Whatever you can do according to your capacity, according to your we can say the planning, we must interact each other. So I welcome all of you. Please do whatever we can do. And again, I am saying that collaboration is the and togetherness is the we can say the main power of this world. And if we believe on such type of working, then definitely we will achieve a good status and a good we can whatever we want, whatever the good height we want, and a best work for the world, we can do it. As you know that in this world everything is achievable and there is a lot of resources available, but only thing is that we have to manage according to the whatever the demands there. If as all of you are educated, and today media and all social media, they are working efficiently to give you all whatever the we can say the information, the crisis, and or any existence in the world in a corner. So if there is something, if at one place there is some crisis, then we have to arrange and we have to overcome such type of crisis. If there is some existence there in a corner of the world, then we should give such type of excellence to the persons or to the corner of the world where there is a crisis. So we have to manage all things efficiently, logically, and also technically. Similarly, how scientific methods can be used. So it is we can say our good luck that all of you are here and we are associated here for working with the different governments of the country, different private and multinational companies. We are offering such type of proposals to the government. We are making the proposals for the government for the privatization, and we are also getting projects above 1,000 of crore from the different parts of the country. So it is only we can say the collaborative work. So I again invite all of you to work practically, and you are spending your time here. That is, it is our privilege and it is our good luck. So thank you all of you. Not taking so much time, I welcome all of you, all the viewers, listeners, our chief guests, our speakers. Please enjoy here and do whatever you can want to do. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Muhammad Ahmad, private advisor to His Highness Sheikh Majid Rashid Al Malla. I'd like to inform you that the Chief Operating Officer of His Highness Sheikh Majid Rashid Al Malla Group of Companies, Dr. Kabir, has joined. So we welcome you, Dr. Kabir, to the conference today. And I would request the host of the event to take up the proceedings.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Srividhya ji. Yes, as we all know, Dr. Kabir has joined the session, Mr. Mohammed. Yes, sir. Okay. So on that note, we would like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Kabir, who is the Chief Operating Officer and who has done PhD in marketing. And he has a very rich experience spanning over 2 decades in the Gulf region, with a knack to identify the opportunities and bring them to life. He brings in the spirit of the young, passionate entrepreneur with an unflinching resolve to bring the latest technologies and best practices to the business and to the world. He doesn't stop with UAE, his connections are all over the globe. He has a staunch penchant of push for new technologies, innovation, knowledge and growth across the digital asset market, blockchain, information technology, agriculture and agro products as well. Not to miss in the few like hospitality services and the solutions, and neutral networks, artificial intelligence, media and publishing, and which are in the embedded systems and infrastructure. So this is very much to say about Dr. Kabir though. So we extend a warm welcome to Dr. Kabir, who has joined us, who has consented with his great passion and great passion to support others. He has consented to be our chief guest. On that note, we would extend a warm welcome to Dr. Kabir to join us on this show. Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Kabir.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Kabir. Thank you so much.
It is my honor and privilege to be part here in this conference call. MashaAllah, we are representing Office of His Highness Sheikh Majid bin Rashid Al Mala, the member of ruling family from United Arab Emirates. Any business support, you want to grow your business, you want to expand your business, you want to enter into United Arab Emirates, we make sure our team give all your support from entering, making your footprints into United Arab Emirates market, to taking you to the globe. Any support you require over here, we are there to support you 24/7. Rest, my team is here. You want to inquire anything, they give you all the information. And personally, you want to discuss anything, more than welcome. I am here on the call. You can continue your discussions. Mashkoor. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Kabir. It was so kind of you to join us for the session, to extend the word of collaboration to every one of us. As you know, coming together is a beginning. Staying together is a process. Working together is success. The real success of this meeting is going to be, we all should start working together. It's not only for G20 goals, otherwise also we can start working in collaboration. Dr. Srividhya ji, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I welcome, sir. I welcome all of you, as you are a very experienced person having a relationship to all over the world. So definitely, yes, we want to collaborate with you for whatever we can do, as we are working in all sectors, and also with every parts of the country. We want to make a good world. So I have put my WhatsApp number in chat box. We will make a better future for this world. Welcome, sir.
So, as Dr. Vijayakumar Salve ji has mentioned, he has mentioned his number in the chat box. If anybody would like to collaborate with him, you can take the number and get in touch with him. Thank you so much. On that note, we would like to move on to the session. Thank you, Dr. Kabir. Thank you to everyone who has joined from Sheikh Majid Al Mullah's office. It's a great pleasure having you all here. It's a very greatest privilege of having you here for this session. We are overwhelmed with joy, we are overwhelmed with gratitude for your kindness and your support, and we look forward for all your support through and through for making it a grand success. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Moving ahead with the session, as we all know, we have gathered today with the topic of international financial architecture, with the presidency as accelerated, inclusive and resilient growth in the global economy. And our pointers of discussion are going to be enhancing transparency and accountability at multilateral financial stability across the globe, promoting greater integration across financial markets, strengthening financial systems and the capital frameworks which were required for it, managing financial crisis and economic challenges. How do we address it in respective countries? And moving ahead, last but not the least, climatic change policies and capital flows and perception of the investors. On that note, we open the forum to all our speakers. On that, I would like to introduce the speakers once again for the day. We have got our distinguished speakers for the day who have joined us for the session. Mr. Harkishan Rankavatji, who is the Chairman and Institute of the Chartered Accountants of India and Dubai chapter. Warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. Venkatesh Mahadevan, CIO, Board Member, Tech Hall of Fame, and he's renowned as, he's well stated as the IT Person of the Year 2022. Warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. Balaji Harkishan, Chairman of Kottayam Branch ICI, Managing Partner, Rangamani Associates. Warm welcome to you, sir. And Mr. Deepak Batra, who is the Amazon bestseller author and who is renowned himself as Millionaire Mindset Coach. On that note, we open the forum to all the speakers of the day. Over to you, Ms. Sandhya Balaji. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you once again. Thank you everyone who has joined us for the session. Thank you so much. Ms. Sandhya Balaji, over to you.
Yeah, a very warm good evening once again. Let me take the pleasure of introducing our first speaker of the day, Mr. Harkishan Rankawat. Having post-qualification of experience of more than 2.5 decades in the area of auditing, strategic planning, cost reduction, pricing, budgeting, and rolling forecast. And other fields include taxation, consolidation, statutory reporting as per IFRS, and US General Accounting and Audit Principles, MIS, working capital and cash flow management, internal control are some of his major areas of expertise. And his other specialties include strategic planning, budgeting, MIS, internal control, risk management, project accounting, working capital management, again the US audit and accounting principles, SOX compliance, pricing, project management, business process re-engineering, and SAP R3 implementation. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir, and may I request you to spearhead the show.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sandhya. Chief guest, Dr. Kabir. Speakers of the day, Mr. Krishnan, Mr. Bhadra, Mr. Mahadevan, Mr. Chandra Prakash, and all participants in this webinar. A very good day to all of you. I thank especially Dr. Salvia and Dr. Srividhya for giving me an opportunity to speak in this event on the topic global investment. We all know that emerging or developing markets have opportunities for growth, which is not generally available in more developed economies. Actually, these are coming from three main sources. If you look at it, new pervasive technologies, improved spending power of a growing middle class, which is growing, worldwide. And then the last one is gains from greater trading activity with other countries. The biggest advantage of emerging market investments is the potential for high growth. Another advantage, if you look at it, diversification. International investments can be a good diversifier for your investment portfolio because economic downturns in one country can be offset by growth in another country. Emerging markets, often seem to offer new investment opportunities, higher expected returns, and diversification, etc. But there are a number of risks as well, and we should be aware of those risks before investing our hard-earned money, like exchange rate risk, political risk, poor corporate governance, increased chances of bankruptcy, etc. When it comes to personal finance, everyone's situation is unique. No one has the same bills, rents, debts, or lifestyle. When you are ready to take control of your financial lifestyle, you need a plan that will answer your specific problems. Saving is all the money you earn but don't spend. And investing, it's slightly different. It means making that money to grow. The key difference between the saving and investing is that investing has risk, but it also has a potential to earn higher returns. If you look at bank is paying, interest to keep money in a saving account, maybe 1%, 2% nowadays. Maybe because of the interest rate increase, now you will be getting 4%, 5%. It depends on country to country basis. The money which you have in a bank account may not grow much, but it will be safe generally. So why you want to take on more risk? Why you want to invest? Ladies and gentlemen, there is only, one proverb which I heard: be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. I am not telling you this. Actually, this is what investment guru Warren Buffett has suggested. I have a small presentation which I can share with you if you allow me to share my screen. Can you enable the post? Hello?
Yes, sir, you can share your screen now.
Okay, just a minute. Yeah, can you see now? Hello?
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir, we are able to see.
Okay, let me
Yes, we are
maximize
able
it.
to see.
Yeah, let me maximize it, I think.
Okay.
Or is it visible?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. Yeah, so generally there are three types of rules whenever you are looking at the investing: short term, mid term, or long term. Short term is generally up to 1 year, then mid term is from 1 to 5 years, and long term is generally more than 5 years or maybe longer, 10, 20 years, depending on your risk appetite. If you look at investment, you might have various investment nowadays. You can put your cash into bank, fixed deposits. You can invest into bonds as well, which bonds may be government bonds or private corporate bonds. Then you may invest in the real estate as well worldwide, then stocks and crypto. So if you see, I'm in the return, you can see that maybe in crypto, higher risk, higher return, and cash, if you are keeping in the bank, then lower risk, lower return. So it depends on your appetite, what kind of risk you are taking. Bonds, as I mentioned you, that there are two types of bonds. Either you invest in the government bonds, which is the more safer, or you can invest in the private corporates. The benefits of bonds, generally you have a predictable fixed income stream, and your principal will be returned after the bond is matured. But the risk is inflation risk, or issuers might go bankrupt, then your money is lost in case of private corporates. But in case of government, it will be more safer. Then you can invest in the mutual funds or exchange traded fund. Because we are not an expert, we cannot identify a particular stock. So it's always better to invest in the mutual fund or exchange traded fund. I am hearing some noise in the background, doctor. And now it's gone, I think. So if you are investing in mutual funds, then you are in, then your mutual fund service provider, banks or any private institution, they are investing in various companies, various industries. So you are diversifying your risk, and they are managing that mutual fund more professionally, and generally you can make good return, stable return in case of mutual fund or exchange traded fund. Then nowadays, cryptocurrency is one of the another platform which has come up. Where you can invest either in cryptocurrency or NFT, non-fungible tokens, or maybe nowadays metaverse. But then again, this is very risky, so you have to take a cautious call. But I would always advocate you to invest in the top 5 cryptocurrencies generally, where definitely it will come up. And now the market is going up. I can give you one example where my son has invested in one of the NFT. One kind of I will show you. If you look at this one, this looks like a monkey, but this is actually non-fungible token NFT, Mutant Ape Yacht Club. where he has invested sometime in $20,000 and he got 5 Ethereum. And at one point in time, just after 2-3 months, he got the highest offer of $135,000 and the second best offer was $96,000. So you can see in just 3-4 months, I mean, it has gone up and the returns were superb. I asked him to sell, but he didn't sell it and he continued to hold. Then it has gone down. But yes, now the market has picked up and the current offer is now $28,000, which is equivalent to 15 Ethereum. So yes, now the market is again picking up. So there is a great opportunity to invest in these cryptos and NFTs, subject to that we understand it properly. And real estate is a great investment. I mean, but you have to always think in the long term. I mean, I am staying in UAE, so I can give you an idea of UAE market, UAE real estate market. If you look at from March 2020 till now, the market, UAE real estate market has gone up. The villa prices particularly has gone up because of the COVID. I mean, people didn't like to stay in the apartment. But yes, apartment prices have gone up maybe 15-20%, but villa prices have gone up by 50% to 80%, 90% in the last 2 years. But there is always an opportunity. You can always invest in off-plan in UAE, where there are a lot of opportunities and various developers are giving like fixed return of 7 to 8% on your investment. And then that real estate, whenever you are coming in the UAE, you can stay in those properties, enjoy the property, and the rest of the time they can rent it out for you and they can give you a net return of 7 to 8%. And by investing, to more than 2 million dirhams in UAE real estate, you get a golden visa as well. So this is a great opportunity, but you have to always keep long term in the mind whenever you are investing in the real estate. And this way you can generate multiple sources of income because you don't have to depend on one source of income. So it's a great source of income, and it is kind of like you can stable investment and stable return. Looking at if you look at now Ukraine, Russia, a lot of investors have come recently have come from Sudan, then Afghanistan, then Russia big time. Russia has already crossed even the Indians when it comes to investment in real estate market in the UAE. So there is an opportunity, and the market has now kind of settled in UAE. And always, I mean, as I mentioned you that you have to have your asset allocation, you have to have diversified asset classes in your investment. Then you can't go wrong. I mean, at least risk in one asset class might be getting offset by risk in another asset class. So that's my suggestion. I mean, always you have to invest in asset classes. And asset allocation, yes, it depends on your, risk appetite. Hello? Yeah, you can hear me now?
You're on mute, yeah.
Okay. So it depends on asset allocation. It depends, I mean, on your age and on your risk appetite. You should always decide various asset class, whether you want to invest in stocks, bonds, crypto, real estate, or fixed deposits with the. And you can always diversify. Like if you take the example of stocks, you can invest in various sectors: consumer goods, financial sector, technology, healthcare sector. So you can always have your asset allocation in a diversified, so that in order to manage your risk. And you have to be always aware of the fraud as well in the market, because sometimes in the market people are offering 20% fixed return, 30% fixed return. Whenever they are guaranteeing the return, then there is an issue. So be aware of those frauds, and always, I mean, don't deal with any unlicensed or unregistered salespersons or institution. Always go with the legal or registered institution. Then we don't have the risk that we have to take care. And unsolicited offers, I mean, you are getting a lot of calls from the salespeople, or ladies promoter who are approaching you. In UAE nowadays, it is happening very much. So be careful. Always be careful about all these cold callings or emails or on the social medias. Do your proper homework, proper research, and always rely on the registered brokers. I mean, in Dubai also we have like Dubai International Financial Center Free Zone, where category 3, category 1, category 2 merchant bankers are there. So you should deal with the registered bankers or non-banking financial companies. Then at least you are safe. And if you want to check any investment professional, whether they are genuine or not, you can always check on the investor.gov. There is a website where you can look at their license and employment history or any disclosures. As Warren Buffett always mentioned, that never depend on a single income. Make an investment to create a second source. And I think Deepak Badraji is also there. Bob Proctor, his mentor and great author, I mean, he also mentioned that you need to create multiple sources of income. Then you can, I mean, while you are sleeping, still you are generating returns. And another quote, I think Warren Buffett mentioned that today people who hold cash equivalents feel comfortable, but they shouldn't. They have opted for a terrible long-term asset, one that pays virtually nothing and is certain to depreciate in value. So I understand that investment always comes with risk, but you have to take a calculated risk by diversifying your portfolio in various countries. Then you will be safe, I think, and you can generate a steady return. Thank you very much. I think I am done, and this is my address and telephone number. And if you want me to have in touch with me in future as well for any inquiry, please feel comfortable. Always I am available at your disposal anytime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harkishan ji. That was very kind of you. And you have covered more of the overarching objectives of the G20 inclusion, financial inclusion, with a forward-looking perspective and more streamlined and focused agendas, providing policy analysis and recommendations of high-level principles for guidance. Definitely, you have mentioned that. And monitoring financial inclusions and developments as per the G20 financial inclusion indicators which were involved in it. Advocating, promoting, and financial inclusion globally with whatever prospects which are available in the respective countries that you have covered with, and to facilitate coordination among the global bodies to support global financial inclusion with the efforts of with a focus on supporting the G20 and non-G20 countries. Thank you so much, Harkishan ji. Thanks for all those insights. It was quite insightful and informative. Now, we would like to take this time to welcome Sheikh Majid Al Mullah's office people to have an introduction about their office. So, Mr. Hamad Chaudhry. Mr. Mohammed.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, and you can speak about your office, and because they are facilitating so many of these aspects in their office, which they would like to come first on, which they will speak on. Please, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. This is Muhammad Hamad, the private advisor of His Highness Sheikh Majid Rashid Al Mualla and group of companies. Giving you a brief about our operations, we are here helping and supporting businesses to scale their businesses in the right direction, to monetize their businesses in the right direction through right business connections. We help businesses to establish from point A to the last, wherever they start the establishment, to the right business associations, to the right agreements with the right parties, and executing them so that they can do business in the safe environment in the best possible manner. We are present in all sectors of the businesses, starting from the real estate to industrial commercial expansions, to healthcare sector, tourism sector, e-commerce, digital transformation. We have our expert teams present to support in every category of business. Alhamdulillah, we are supporting and managing more than 100 organizations in United Arab Emirates from different sectors, where we are providing them the right support to do the best business for themselves. We have our investment sector as well, where we do invest with our partners and our associates in the scalable projects, and of course, putting them to the right direction and focusing them on the right way to establish within UAE, GCC, as well as across the globe. Me, myself, our
Kindly unmute yourself, sir. Hello. Yes, thank you. Thank
Hello. Yes. Hope you hear me now.
you. Yeah.
Okay. So you heard what I said before.
Yes, that was heard.
Yes, we did.
So our entire team, as I said, is available and present to support you wherever you need our support. Under the banner of His Highness Sheikh Majid Rashid Al Malla Group of Companies, we have a council with the name of Global Business Council, where Mr. Yahya Al Balushi is the chairperson and the founder, where we are helping small and medium enterprises as well to get the good marketing facilities for themselves. And we are onboarding people who are looking for the market exposure within Gulf, European, as well as across the globe region. So we'll be more than happy to see your proposals. I have put my email address in the chat box, so you are more than welcome to write out to me in order for any support, any advice, any assistance that you may require. Thank you very much once again to all for having us on board with you in today's conference, which is mashallah a very productive conference. People I can see, they are from different sectors and they all are very competent in their fields and do know what they are doing. And alhamdulillah, I'll be looking forward to support you in the best manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed. That was very kind of you. And definitely our whole team and the whole purpose of this conference will meet its resolution with all your kind support, with your gracious presence and your kind support. Thank you so much. Very kind of you, sir. Thank you. Moving ahead, we would like to introduce our second speaker for the day, who is going to talk about digital financial inclusion. As we all know, digital financial inclusion is broadly, which has been termed as the use of digital financial services to advance financial inclusion. It involves deployment of the digital means to reach financially excluded and underserved populations, recognizing the particular significance for women with a range of formal financial services suited to their needs, delivered responsibly at a cost affordable to customers, and providing a sustainability for the providers and the consumers. This includes definitely the deployment of secure and responsible digital enabled services that extend the reach of the formal financial services on a sustainable basis, and addressing the potential risks of such technologies, including data protection and privacy issues, cybersecurity, and over-indebtedness, as well as other money laundering and terrorist financings which are being involved, and other illicit financial risks which are involved in it. To educate us more on this, I would like to welcome Mr. Venkatesh Mahadevan, who is going to speak on transformation of how our technology should be embraced for our world. Over to you, Ms. Sandhya. So you can have your introduction for Mr. Venkatesh, and you can welcome him to speak. Thank you so much.
I'm very excited to welcome Mr. Venkatesh Mahadevan, who is a technologist with over 25 years of professional experience with Fortune 100 corporations. He has a rich experience in the Asia Pacific regions, India and the Middle East. and he's been the mentor at the Columbia University. He also runs and hosts his own talk show called the Titan Talks and the podcast Zen Pod. So even more overwhelming for me as a marketing student, I feel elated to announce that he has received the Peter Drucker Award for Outstanding Achievements in Management, and he's a peak performance coach for teams and individuals, and he's been there working with many NGOs and social organizations. A very warm welcome, sir, and thank you so much for addressing the need of the hour topic today. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Sandhya and Srividhya, and very excited to be here firstly, and also very privileged because I heard some of the speakers. So can you all hear me? Yes, very privileged to hear some of the speakers, especially from the His Highness office and also Hari Kishan and all of that. So I feel small. I feel small speaking in front of all of you, really accomplished people. I essentially chose something not related to finance. I just thought I wouldn't tread on something you guys are all experts at, right? You have built financial empires. Hari Kishan just told me his son makes more money than I made all my life. So, so I'm trying to stay away from financials. Balaji is an expert and a stalwart himself in that field. So when Srividhya called me to speak, and I said, "Are you sure, Srividhya?" She said, "Yeah, Venki, we need you to come and talk." And I said, "Okay." And I didn't realize I was going to be in a galaxy of stars. So thank you, Srividhya and Sandhya, for including me. I will actually talk. Won't take very long, but I'll talk a little bit about some of the challenges I have faced. I have worked I've worked for large corporations. I've been with as a CIO with Coca-Cola, with Motorola, with Procter & Gamble. Very recently, I was with Dubai Investments, spent about 10 years with them. So I understand the facets of different complexities among industries. And some of them obviously come when you least expect them. And I think one of those I'm going to touch on today is a VUCA world. We all live in a VUCA world. And I'm not sure, is it okay for me to share the slides or shall I just speak?
Sure, you can.
Share is good. Okay, let me try and do that. One moment. I will need to. Do I have?
I do. Participants have been allowed. Yeah.
Awesome. So can you see my slides?
We can see your screen. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. Brilliant. Okay. So I thought I would pick on three words. So accelerated, inclusive, and resilient growth. And I was going through Srividhya's very busy slide, and these three words hit me when I saw it. How many of us really, feel we are living in a VUCA world? That's the one question that really kept coming back at me, and somebody asked me what's VUCA and all of that. So essentially, while the definition of VUCA is known to all of us, we have been facing a very, very complex. While we all live in a very connected culture, right? We have social media, we have a lot of technology tools to ourselves. We live in a world that is very, very fast-paced, absolutely unpredictable. People have started saying change is constant. You go to bed one day and next morning you wake up and an industry has been disrupted. So as I was reading up on some of this, a couple of examples came to mind. Actually, three examples. The first one, which stands out to me in a VUCA world, which was a great example of uncertainty. So VUCA essentially stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And we all face it. So if you look at your life and you put down these four elements, you will realize that we actually face it every day. And some of us who have held, actually most of us have held very senior positions and have been at the helm of corporations. We understand that this is something that stares at us from the mirror every morning as we drive to work. So one of the two examples of uncertainty that came to me as I was reading some of this, one was Uber. Uber clearly, when Uber came, nobody knew Uber was on the anvil, right? So when Uber came, Uber revolutionized the taxi or the cab or the public transport industry by creating an ease of booking. Some countries obviously are ahead of the others, but if you look at Uber as an industry, and if you look at Uber, which was once upon a time a startup, they really came and disrupted the whole industry. And they said, well, here we're going to revolutionize the ease of booking, which was never there earlier, right? And I won't go into the other benefits of Uber. We are all familiar. We use it. If you are in UAE, you use Careem, you use the RTA taxis and all of that. The other example that came to me was Airbnb. Airbnb, this man came in, he said, you know, we all travel, we live in hotels, we live in 5-star, 3-star, 2-star. We never heard of the concept of being able to share an accommodation. And he introduced something, he impacted the hotel industry completely by innovating processes. You no longer need to have a room or a house to yourself. You can book a part of it and live. We all have used it. We all continue to use it where we go on holidays, where we go visit people. So Airbnb and Uber are two great examples globally that come to me. And both of these, if you look at both of these, and that's where it's close to my heart, both of these business models heavily relied on technology. So it was not a business that was built on technology. And I always say it was technology that actually disrupted the whole thing. It's no longer the days of business being driven by technology. It's now, what's your technology story, right? Business is there. What's your technology story? How can you serve a customer quicker? How can you make it better? How can you do it better? And a third big example, and being in India and being an Indian, is really something that our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji built he actually launched it in 2018, and most of us, you must be familiar with it. It was a robust, interoperable digital banking system. The vision was to expand access to financial services through technology at every citizen's doorstep, period. Now, when you think of a vision like that and you sit back and you say, my God, how do you do it in a country that is poised to take over China in about 3 months from now, and which has got huge land area and so many people, more than half the population lives in rural areas. The idea was to take banking to the last mile, promote financial inclusion. So for me, inclusion from the VUCA world was something that was clearly said, we want to create economic transformation at the grassroots level. That was the Prime Minister's vision. And as we all know, the impact it has had. So the government went about and set up one of the most technologically advanced banks on top of a massive legacy institution. We all know the institution, and we created a financial services behemoth. And you know what that institution was called? It was called the Department of Posts. 2018, and in just the 2 years, Indian Post Payment Bank actually enabled 140,000 post offices to provide a complete suite of banking services. And hold your chair when I tell you this, 110,000 of these were in rural India. Mind you, close to 200,000 postmen were actually equipped with biometric devices and smartphone services just to deliver banking to the doorsteps. You know, and we talk, and this is one example. Everybody knows of Aadhaar that happened. Everybody knows of UPI that happened. These are massive transformations. So when you come to India and look at all this, and India was a country where you struggled with change, you struggled with people giving you chocolates because they didn't have enough change, you struggled with, not having the right currency, and then all of that. Now you can step out of your house with just a phone, a mobile phone, which is connected to your bank account, and you can make all your payments. I've been using it. All you need is really just a phone number that is connected to your bank account. You can go about your day-to-day transactions. And as we speak, in 2022, the UPI transactions in India alone was 74 billion. And the total value was $1.5 trillion. And these are massive numbers, right? So let's look at financial services, since we are all in that domain right now. So typically, if you split the whole VUCA into 4 words, volatility, the financial market, as Hari Krishna beautifully said it, it is very sensitive to market volatility, whether it's stocks or market conditions or all that. And financial institutions need to be able to adapt quickly to changing market conditions. They can't really sit and wait and watch, and we'll talk more about this later. Uncertainty. Clearly, we have seen significant uncertainty, especially around, forget COVID, especially around regulatory changes and geopolitical events. Are we as leaders, are our organizations ready to navigate these uncertainties? Can we, while navigating, also ensure there is enough stability? But at the same time, you need to be absolutely compliant. Complexity. Financial industry has always been complex. It has only got more complex because of the flexibility that's being offered to consumers and the type of consumers. And with so many new services, right? Digital banks and all of that. So are we as financial institutions able to understand and manage these complexities, especially around risk management? ambiguity. There is so much ambiguity. And the reason I say that is because of a regulation and a statutory framework is open to multiple interpretations. So that itself creates ambiguity. So are you going to the right person? Like Krishna was saying, make sure you speak to the right people and invest with the right people, right? So are we able to navigate or manage this ambiguity? And finally, technology. While yes, technology is very scary, technology is a part of life, has taken over, blah, blah, blah. We're reading enough scary things about AI. The reality is we need technology. Yes, we need to manage cybersecurity, we need to manage data privacy, but technology is a given. Let's do a quick reality check. Does this happen to us every day, right? I'm just going to go over this because you will read it yourself, right? Anybody, for somebody who doesn't happen, you and I need to come and you and I need to have a coffee together, because clearly you're leading a great life, a very ideal life, and I envy you. This is something that happens to us all the time as we speak, right? So if this reality check is happening to you every day, how can we use transformation and technology to embrace the VUCA world? The VUCA world is not going away. It is there. It is here to stay. COVID has gone away. It's still affected us in so many different ways. Businesses adapted, businesses changed themselves, businesses got creative, and they have done it. Governments have done it. UAE is a great example of how it managed the whole crisis and it came out winners, right? So India has done great on using technology as well. Let's look at how can we turn VUCA to our advantage, right? So what are the risks? We know volatility is a risk. So if you are a leader, if you are facing a volatile situation, what do? You need to have a clear vision. You need to have a vision that can tell where you want to take the organization. So don't look at volatility, look at vision. You're facing an uncertain time. What do you need to do? You need to understand the uncertain situation. As a leader, as a financial organization, as an institution, you need to understand that. We understand there is complexity, but do you have the clarity, or are you getting carried away by the complexity and getting lost? Have clarity of thought. Ambiguity. While there is a lot of ambiguity, are you agile as an organization? Right? I put together this quick model, right, which says volatility. So counter volatility with vision. Create a compelling vision and values for your people. If you're leading an organization, create a compelling vision. Let people buy into that vision. Develop a growth mindset in your organization. Let each employee till the smallest level have a growth mindset. Lead them to believe in a shared purpose. Communicate your vision. Lead them, guide them, drive them to believe in what you believe in. Uncertainty. Meet uncertainty with understanding, like I said before. Absolutely clear. Find out what are your competitors doing in the market today. How are they doing? Are they launching new products? What are they planning to do? What is happening in your marketplace? Very, very important. A CEO's job, I always say, is not in the ivory tower, is not in the office. A CEO's job is in the marketplace, is where his customers are. This is the only way you will know what's happening in your marketplace. What is new in your industry? Is a new Airbnb around the corner? Is an Uber happening? Is a Careem happening? Is Amazon happening? Is a Myntra happening? Is a Walmart happening? Find out what's happening around the marketplace. Is a Zerodha happening? Maybe there are things like this happen. The Zerodha disrupted the NSE to some extent. If you actually go and look deep into it, anticipate threats that are around the corner. You can't anticipate a COVID, but you can anticipate other market challenges. Complexity. React to complexity with utmost clarity. Be absolutely clear in your communication across the organization, to your customers, with your partners. Promote teamwork and collaboration. Very, very important. You need to encourage it at all points of time, because if you don't, your organization is getting nowhere. I promise you that. You have to promote it at all points of time. Encourage complex. Don't solve a problem by putting two people in a room. Encourage complex problem solving. One of the reasons why Amazon actually is so successful, and even during COVID, apart from the fact that they saw an opportunity, Amazon believes in the pizza concept, which is essentially when there is a complex problem, they put 5, 6, 7 people in a room and tell them to come up with a collaborative solution. So all of these people actually work in a mindset of solving that problem and not one person's problem. That's the way to solve complex problems. Ambiguity. Fight ambiguity with agility. Don't just be agile, be very, very nimble. Stay adaptable always, especially during uncertain times. Don't be opposed to change. Establish a learning culture. Develop the skill mindset in your people. Establish a learning culture. Encourage people to learn new skills and embrace creativity. Listen, AI is here. It is not going to go away. Learn how to use AI. Don't say AI will replace jobs. AI will replace people who don't know how to use AI. I say this, AI will not replace jobs. If you are unskilled, if you don't adapt yourself, you will not have a job. Don't blame AI for it. Encourage debates and discussions. Have an open door policy. As leaders, encourage. Let people come in, talk to them, right? That's the only way you will do that. And for me, some of the key takeaways as I come to the close: anticipate the future. We are all leaders. We do that. Please anticipate the future. Develop an adaptive and a growth mindset. Strengthen collaboration. I don't see too much of this happening. I was very fortunate to watch a yacht race in Dubai a few months back. And I was talking to one of the coaches, and I do peak performance. One of the things that really hit me is in yacht races, in these kind of, where there are people coming, the data of a boat, and mind you, the data points in a boat are shared with all the teams, right? So for example, we have the IPL matches going on right now, and the Asians will understand it. The data of Mumbai Indians is not shared with Delhi Daredevils, is not shared with Chennai Super Kings, is not shared with Gujarat Titans. Whereas in a yacht, the data of Australia is shared with New Zealand, is shared with South Africa, is shared with so many different countries. And so all 7 of them who are participating in the race understand each other's key weaknesses, key challenges, how much time it takes, what have they done. Think about it. They have created a level playing field. And in my opinion, at some point of the market, this is going to happen to the market. So strengthen collaboration. You collaborate with somebody, it doesn't make you weak. It only makes you strong. It expands the market. It increases the customer base. Adopt modern technology and solution. Please, and I'm not saying this because I'm an IT person. You need to adopt technology because technology is robust, scalable, and can always help you grow. Because if you don't have technology, you're going to redo and undo a lot of things you've done in the past. Make decisions. When you're faced with an uncertain situation, quickly huddle, even if it's standing, make a decision. Don't have meetings and postpone the decision making to another Friday or to another Monday or to a good day. Every day is a good day. Make a decision, and you will more often than not be right. Let's see more of leadership and less of management. People are smart. People come out from B schools. We hire the best in the industry. They know how to manage themselves. Show them leadership. Show them where you can take them. Show them, be the leader at the steering wheel. Display level 5 leadership. I have been very fortunate to work with some great leaders. Have the ability to communicate a vision and develop a shared purpose. If you don't do this, people are not going to buy into a vision. People are not going to say, oh, I want to be part of this organization. I want to work with Mr. Venki Mahadevan. I want to work with so-and-so. They're not going to say that. Learn to stand tall in a turmoil. It will come, it will go. Learn to stand tall because people are going to look up to you. Financial services industries, corporates, organizations, governments have demonstrated this time and again. They have been the winners. We all need to work towards an accelerated, inclusive and resilient growth. This is my last slide. But clearly, as we face complex, volatile, ambiguous and uncertain times, don't look at the left side of my slide. Look at the right side. Have a vision, be certain, stay agile, collaborate and move forward. Inclusiveness is the key word, and that is the thing that will take you places. With that, I thank you for the opportunity and really, really thank you for your patience. And I hope I shared something of value to the already enlightened team here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
so much. You can stop sharing your screen.
I will stop sharing. You're right. I'm sorry. I have stopped sharing. Is it still there?
Yes. It's there. Yeah. Thank you.
Is it okay?
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was very kind of you, sir. And definitely, we are quite impressed with our key takeaways for the day. Anticipate the future. That's what the session is all about. As we all know, we have gathered here to forecast the future and have laid down strategic transformation strategies into the system by developing an adaptive and growth mindset. Very true. I think we all should think about it. And we've got one eloquent speaker for the day who is going to address on that. I think Mr. Deepak Batra definitely is here to share his views on that. And he will be adding more inputs to that, insights to that particular thing, and strengthening collaborations in industry. That's what it is about. And our main rationale of this whole session is collaborating, extending collaborations, and a warm welcome to everyone to work in Liaison adopt modern technology and solution-oriented approach. And that's what is the whole digital transformation is all about. As you rightly said, definitely the digital compliance is not going to replace the human support or the human resource that we have. We are going to add value to it with all our greatness. That's what is the thing. And make decisions definitely as not as a leader rather than a manager. That's very important. And so we don't go into the micromanagement, we come into the macro management of the systems, such that we are able to enhance them by our presence rather than just going and pitching into everyday affairs. Well, the ability to communicate with a vision and develop a shared purpose. That's where we are on today. Thank you so much. That was very quite insightful, informative, and very descriptive on its own. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And it was a very great pleasure having you all. And as Dr. Vijayakumar Sarvia has mentioned, he has already put his telephone number there. And would you like to communicate with them? You can. And Sheikh Al-Mullah's office, they have put their email IDs there. So we can all collaborate together. We can all work together. Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure having you there. Ms. Sandhya, would you like to add on anything there?
I would love to. In fact, I was just thinking of a Tamil proverb. We say "mulle mullale edukkanam," as in you remove a thorn which is in a tight spot by replacing it with a thorn. So we find a VUCA world solution through VUCA, which is brilliantly presented, and definitely AI is the way forward, and accepting AI as part of our lives in the micro and the macro level is going to add tremendous value and prosperity to the world in the coming days ahead, or it has already started adding value, but we are going to look forward for a tremendous transformation. And thank you so much, sir. It was really inspiring. And
thank you.
Should we move forward?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Ms. Sandhya. That was very kind of you. Thank you, Mr. Venkatesh. It was a wonderful session, and you covered all your pointers very well. Thank you so much. Moving ahead from the digital, coming on to the practical solutions, giving practical, analyzing the practical problems and giving solutions. We welcome Mr. Balaji, who is here to speak on strengthening financial systems on capitals. So that's what is that. As we all see, and the main name which comes to our mind is SME finance. Talk about SMEs as we know, and it definitely plays a very crucial role in employment, job creation, investment, innovation, economic growth globally. And they account for the 90% of the businesses and more than 50% of the employment worldwide. And their successes their successes and therefore crucial for the recovery of the world's economy in the time of crisis and economic progress in other times. Yeah, and so before we call Mr. Balaji, we would like to extend our sincere thanks to Sheikh Al-Mullah's office who have joined us today, and they would like to lead the session now. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much all for having us with you. My email address is already mentioned in the chat box. If anybody wants to get in touch, they can drop us an email, or you can connect us through Dr. Srividhya. That if anyone wants any details, he can be collaborating between us. Thank you very much for having us all, and wish you all the best. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much, sir. Our respectful thanks for your kindness and understanding. And it was a great honor and pleasure and privilege to have you all amidst us today as our chief guest, and also the team for joining us despite busy schedules. Definitely. Many, many, many thanks for your kind guidance and support. And as always, Sheikh Al-Mullah's office has been an epitome of inspiration, a pillar of support, encouragement as for everyone, as always. And thank you so much. With highest regards from the bottom of our heart. Thank you so much. Thank you. So moving ahead, thank you so much, sir. Thank you once again. Thanks. Thanks from all of us who have gathered here today. Thank you. Mr. Balaji is going to speak. Yes, thank you. Mr. Balaji is going to speak on financial systems. Well, moving ahead, I think over to Mr. Sandhya, who will give the introduction for Ms. Balaji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This is probably the most exciting and pleasurable part of the evening. I'm going to introduce my best half, CAK Balaji. He's a chartered accountant, managing partner.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, Rangamani Associates, and he has offices, 7 offices across Kerala. And he has worked with clients in the Middle East region, Australia, and Switzerland. And he's also an associate member of Chartered Accountants Institutes Australia. And his wide experience in different aspects of finance and his visionary attitude is definitely going to bring something best for the world. I welcome you, Balaji. Please do the honors.
Congratulations on very justified introduction, Ms. Sandhya. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mr. Balaji. We welcome you on.
Thank you very much. It sounds like that Will's Navy cut introduction made for each other. So it couldn't have been at a better platform to get all of this done. And I really feel safe. She'll only say good things about me. She had no choice. Thank you, Srividhya, for that wonderful
through G20, we are also strengthening our relationship, I should say.
Yes. So now the task on hand is quite onerous. It's like, see, when you are a speaker with so many eminent personalities, it's like a chase in a cricket match where the pace and tone has been set in the beginning and you are in the middle overs. The chase is quite stiff. So if I don't really set the tempo the way Venki sir and Hari sir had set in the past, it would be quite challenging. But then since we have Sachin Tendulkar and Deepak Vadra to come, I'm quite sure that in case there is a let-up in the effort and quality of my speech, it will be more than compensated, where we'll be taken to a safe harbor, safe destination by Deepak ji with his wonderful talk. So keenly looking forward to that as well. Now, but then all things have to start. It's like, I really feel like Sherlock Holmes saying that the game is afoot now. So the brief given to me last week was financial inclusion, and this week it is relating to strengthening financial system and then capital. So what exactly does it mean? And then what is the India's position in that? Now that we are heading G20, it's very important to see the Indian perspective, the whole picture. So we need to understand what exactly is meant by this financial system, why the global financial system should be understood at this level more than at any point of the history, especially for India, as we are making clear progress in terms of our Azadi Ka Mahol. So that goals have been set. It's just like the pace that we made to maintain here. Indian economy has really woken up to its potential and it's making beautiful march. So with that backdrop, if you see the financial system, the necessity to strengthen it, then we need to really understand a little bit of background. It will be very nice for everyone to, I know luminaries are there, but then oft repeated thing that Bretton Woods, there is a resort in New Hampshire in USA where the whole thing started after the Second World War, where all the countries, they wanted to put their head to see, now that we are going to have international transaction between countries, how would we transact and which currency to choose? So then United States came up with the idea that we will peg our dollar to $35 per ounce. And then based on that, the exchange rate was formally announced back in the 1940s, which also paved the way for International Monetary Fund as well as International Bank for Reconstruction and Development, which is the present World Bank. So now we understand the perspective. See, International Monetary Fund and World Bank, they clearly decide the global policies which is to be adopted. And we also have the Fisher's system, which will decide on the rate of interest. So why I am trying to sound too technical on these matters, these are the basic tenets in which any financial system is to be set. India cannot simply fix their interest rate tomorrow from 2% because we need to account for our inflation. India cannot simply increase in the rate of interest beyond what is to be charged by the country to its citizen. So the key ingredients, International Monetary Fund has clearly laid out what are the clear indicators which will show that if you have a very robust and sound financial system. And they are also making it clear that this is very essential because all is not well across the world over the entire spectrum of time that we can envisage. We are bound to face crisis, and it is your ability to overcome the crisis that shows your strength. Like, for example, again on cricketing angle in 2001, when we were down in the depths, facing an innings defeat in Calcutta, then we had a wonderful performance from V.F. Lakshman, which really pulled India back into the reckoning, and then we are a force to reckon with because of that wonderful innings. So, likewise, within the system, there has to be certain ingredients which will pull its weight and then take us out of the struggle or any possible crisis that any economy can face. It could be based on the pandemic, or it could be a situation related where we are too dependent on one particular economy where our beneficiary economy crumbles, so that affects this. So all of that should be well considered when we are planning for a excellent financial system. So there has to be a proper banking system, non-banking system, and to add to that, there has to be non-banking financial services, insurance. Then we should have an excellent securities market. There must be proper investment funds which will help the smaller companies or people who have ideas, which would again grow down to the next level as venture capitalists. So all these ingredients make one analyze and say that, okay, they have a good financial system. Now, World Bank in its 2019 speech, they have clearly said that India does possess some excellent points which are very unique. One of the key takeaways, I would again borrow that phrase from Pinky's concluding part of the speech. The key takeaway from that analysis by World Bank relating to the Indian scenario is that we have an excellent system to fund for real estate for an individual who wants to pick up a property. And now there are banks, please understand, there are banks which even finance for housing loans, even when there is no proper road access. To me, that was a great progress because every person cannot be expected to have a big Taurus lorry walk driving all the way to its porch. So banks have realized that they need to re-engineer the aspect of the loans being provided to smaller units. So that has been well appreciated by World Bank to say that Indian system has such unique features. Then again, as you would see, Venki sir was saying about this UPI digital payment, but then again, they have created a link, a unique identification number associated with each of the transfers, so that in the avalanche of transactions, you don't get mixed up with things. So that was one to see the backdrop in which he said that we are all based on technology makes me again take back to the movie Terminator, where the protagonist or the person was clearly said that the machines are going to take over. Is it anything related to today's event, Srividhya? Okay, all right. So in Terminator, the person very clearly says that machines are going to take over. So we are also on the verge of that kind of a aspect disrupting our daily life. But then there is always a beautiful thing that sits on top of our head called brain and intelligence. If I put my mind in any crisis and think, I'm sure that the output that I can bring to the table will be much better than any AI or any other chat GPT that would come. I'm not trying to say that my brain is better than that of a chat GPT, but then the way I can, because it doesn't have emotion. So finally, if you look at Indian movie, when the chitti is made to see why it is not better than human being, it is because it doesn't have emotion. So any decision which is driven by basic facts, given with emotion, ensures that the solution provided will always be more acceptable to everyone involved. So probably that is an area where we as human beings should be very proud. We should understand all the technological advances that take place, be very alert to the possible disruptions. For example, I am as a chartered accountant very much concerned about blockchain, because that will one fine day we have these robotic process automations, which basically has taken away all the roles which a basic accountant used to play. But still, we are only happy that that is happening, so that we embrace the technology and then scale up our operations so that we can take more and more work and execute with good precision and perfection. So coming back to this point, why I'm referring to the technology being aided in our financial growth was this unique payment identification system, which paved the way for everyone to relate to each payment which I receive. So even in advanced, I don't want to name the countries, but then even in advanced countries than India, they don't have this Google Pay or these kind of UPI payments where the common man's ability to pay, because earlier they were very reluctant to use debit cards. Even the establishments were very reluctant to use debit cards because of the charges involved. Now, this Google Pay and other such payment platforms have ensured that the transaction happens at net zero cost to both the parties, payer and receiver. That's a huge takeaway from the technology, which is basically India's contribution to the world. We should be very, very proud of that. And then World Bank also appreciated that in our ability to show the strength of our financial system, we had a common insolvency and bankruptcy code, which has paved the way for a huge opportunity for a lot of practicing professionals, where now these issues are dealt under a single law where it is all decentralized. Issues are all, you don't have to travel all the way to Madras. There is an issue, there is a bench in each of the major states so that these issues can be resolved, bringing about a closure of a financial challenge at the local level itself. Again, they also said this is not all. So what are the other challenges that we face when we are really galloping? Unless you supply more money, market is not going to grow. But then, will you give it to everyone on a platter? No. So what is the credit score? What are the basic common areas which can be put across the board to see that the person who is receiving the money is capable of paying it back with interest, which will ensure that the banker, India, please realize, unlike other economies, we have huge savings to sit. When Inki sir talked about the revolutionary introduction of payment banks being introduced for post office, what it actually meant was it was bringing into the system to give more credit. But then if one big guy takes the money and then he goes bankrupt, that affects innumerable small people who have shed tears, sweat to create the saving. That actually goes into the system. So it cannot be a one solution fitting the benefit of all and everyone involved. But India has been a pioneer in that we have created a good platform for thrift savings, which has gone up to the banking system. Now with this UPI and digital payment, the cash transactions have come down considerably, so that India has more and more opportunity in the banking sector, which can be used for funding and then pay away for the next level of growth, which is to take over Germany and become the fourth biggest economy in the world. So we look at the events that have taken place in the last few years, where cash transactions have come down, and then the credit being extended to micro farmers. That's actually one of the things that I really wanted to talk about, because India again has realized that it's a throwback to very old days, where each of the local areas had a specialization, and with proper financial support, advisory from NGOs, then financial system taking care of that part, it can really explode into a micro multi, because we don't have that phrase. Very soon we will have this micro multinational companies. Micro multinational companies or entities would be such which as a micro entity started and exploded its growth, so that it contributes to the growth of the nearby economies. So there could be one place, for example, Kovilpatti. There are no rains which could happen in Kovilpatti. It is one of the driest places in India. But then very near to Kovilpatti, there are fertile lands which can give beautiful output. So the output of that local area can be brought into Kovilpatti, kept in a warehouse, so that it's very sure of not getting wet in rain and then the crops being destroyed. So the additional adjacent village of Kovilpatti will become a micro multinational, where it goes to Kovilpatti for storage as a warehouse, and then it is very close to the coastal belt of Kuchipudi, where it can be taken for export as well in case of huge harvest being done. So all I'm saying is India has really realized that it is an interconnectivity between one smaller economy to the other, which will ensure that it translates itself from also rank to a force to be reckoned with in financially, which we have achieved, and then to become a global leader, which is our final goal. All of that can be adequately achieved in parts, with the clear goal being achieved in step-by-step basis, only if we have a wonderful financial system. But then when we talk about financial system, we have to address. Yeah. So we have to address smaller issues which could become a big problem, which has always been the case with the non-performing assets. NPAs have been the bane of any banking system because it is the fear of a bank manager when he advances a loan to a greenfield project to say what will happen if it fails. It is that fear in that individual sanctioning the loan, because if it becomes a non-performing asset, the person who sanctioned is also brought to question, even if he's not in that same place. We as bank auditors, we have seen when there is a fraud that takes place in a bank loan being disbursed, the manager who originally sanctioned the loan is summoned to explain what was the reason for this issue. But then that is at the micro level. In a macro level, what exactly happens is in a huge economy like Japan, they have faced multiple crises relating to non-performing assets. It was their major challenge after the crisis of 2008. They re-engineered themselves. They have identified that it is these. Poonamji, can you just put your mic on mute? Poonam Gopiji. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So Japan, the reason why I'm saying about Japan was a war-torn country which had nothing to fall back upon except their individual brilliance and intelligence, which they've used wonderfully. So if you look at the Nobel Prizes which have come in the last 10 years, especially in medicine, Japan has contributed wonderfully well. And again, somebody is made to go for research on non-commitment to create result is because they are funded for research. So that is one area India is lacking. India should promote radical thinking where more and more inventions come. But then what is the guarantee? Suppose, for example, we had a situation where one person wanted to make petrol out of herbs. But then we did provide some support. But I'm saying such radical thinking must be supported. India has not really created a research fund base in credit line. And that is what I'm saying. There must be technical experts attached to university who say that, okay, on the face of it, this looks viable. Please provide him for finance. And then the bank can take the intellectual property, share, and then promote it to the next level. So that kind of an integrated growth probably is the next phase where India needs to look at it. One was addressing. India has been reasonably able to manage non-performing assets because it's a huge challenge. Year on year, when you, for example, in the NGOs that we said, if you give for 50,000 farmers, 5% is bound to break. But then we need to be understanding that yes, Murphy's law has to happen. What has to happen will happen. But that should not prevent the system from going forward to reach its final goal. So one is this inclusive growth, which should be accelerated through digitization. And if it is through digitization, what are the challenges? As we discussed in the last meeting, the education to masses in terms of the safety of digital banking must be promoted even more widely, where most of these post-office beneficiaries still don't have a smartphone. So that's probably the next revolution which will come. Now, all of that brings to this second phase. So my brief was strengthening the financial system and capital. So that I've never talked about capital so far, which is not that it is invisible, but all along it is the capital that we were discussing. Capital basically is infusion of funds. So in the Japan example, they pumped into the system 2 trillion yen when they saw that the markets were crumbling. So India has also been doing that by restricting funds, increasing flow to the market, all that. But these kind of measures, by supplying capital in the adequate stage, it's like the oxygen given to a patient who's in the ICU. If you don't provide that, thinking that what the relative thing, why we need to give him oxygen? He is already not having enough chance of survival. So if they pull the plug, that person is not going to contribute anymore. But then have our hopes pinned on the fact that he has produced results in the past. Let us carry on with this for some more time and then provide him that financial support at the time of crisis. So the capital infusion into the system at the right time really defines the success of any economy. So there is a beautiful recitation in Kathopanishad as to what is mind, what is intelligence, what it is all about. So it talks about the 5 senses as 5 horses, then the soul as the chariot, intelligence as the person who runs the chariot, and mind as the reins which hold the horses. So in this example, It is the adequacy of capital to be provided at the right stage, which will ensure that the horses gallop and reach the destination, so that the person who's holding the intelligence, which is the government, will release the horse when the path is set to move at a breakneck speed, pull the stops at the right place so that we avert any possible danger. But even then, we are bound to face some challenges, and that will be shown by the strength of the chariot. And that's the mindset of the people of India, which cannot be broken. We have all along suffered various invasions, then rules, but still, as a country which is together to now, especially that we are at G20, I'm so glad to see that huge developments have taken place in and around Kottayam. This is a small town where we hosted a lot of luminaries from G20. So this way, G20 will also pave way for people to realize that we are a force to reckon with in the globe in a much bigger way than we all perceive. As I really want to ensure that this repeating the same thing which I said. Kottayam was the first district in the whole of country to become 100% literate. Then Kottayam again ensured that there is 0% poverty. Now, how do we, when I look around, I feel that we respect our employees, people who even work in our homes with a lot of respect. So probably that is another area. If you look at why India has not really made a mark, maybe, as I said, research and development plus funding education. These could be the two key areas which will ensure that we get enough guys with brains with a safety or a protection. Like, as I said, any good captain will say, you please go and then play your natural game. If you fail, it is fine. I will provide that. That kind of a fear of failure should be taken away from the business community. Probably India has found lacking. As I said in one of my earlier speeches, imagine a hospital which would treat only healthy people. There will not be many people who will go to the hospital. So the financial system should also understand that the individual units are bound to crumble and maybe they will fail. But then put your arms around, pull them back and give them the confidence that one failure will not decide your fate. So with that, I believe I have reasonably captured the brief which were given to me. Just going through my note. And one of the great things which I felt was the introduction given by Sheikh Majid's office. They've been very kind, and I have personally known how brilliant they are when it comes to executing work. So it's very thanks to their obvious presence. We should always thank Dr. Stephen from Zambia, who has been a consistent visitor of our speeches. So thank you so much to you. Then Dr. Srividhya ji, thank you so much. This has been the third instance where you earned an opportunity. I'm so proud to say that Kerala is always in the map for the wrong reasons, being an economic paradox for itself. It's not like that. I can personally say that there is no requirement for development for individually. The Human Development Index of people of Kerala is much higher than the rest of the country and on par with the world. So, and Venki sir, it was exhilarating, and then I don't want to hold back. People are waiting for Sachin Tendulkar to come. I am reminded of one incident when Dr. W.G. Grace was playing. He got clean bowled, but then he very silently put the bails back and told the keeper that they have come to watch me match, not make you wicket keeper. So with that words, I sum up. And thank you so much for the wonderful opportunity, Dr. Vijay, everyone around. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Srividhya, you should have a separate session only on cricket with Balaji and me.
Sure. Thank you. Definitely, sir. Definitely. I think anyone would like to join that session. Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely go for it. And not taking much time to add on to the insights that were shared by very passionate insights, I would say, like from Mr. Balaji. Like it's all old wine in the new bottle. That's what we are all working for. And as we all know from the statues which are there in the temples of India, there were statues of people, handling mobiles and coming in iPod, and all these things have been have existed before, ages before. You just can't imagine how far is it down the lane. But still, going ahead, innovation is innovation. It's a new thing that we have just put on our cap, and we should follow suit. Before our society or generation rejects it, we should just transform, and the change should begin within us. We should be the person to bring the change. And we visualize the change and we take it forward to the community. That's what we're looking for. On that note, I would like to extend my warm welcome to Mr. Deepak Batra ji. Thank you, Balaji ji. That was quite insightful, very informative, and definitely we will definitely work together. I couldn't summarize because I should give justification to Mr. Deepak Batra ji, who have been patiently hearing from each one of us, have been waiting us through and through. And so that over to Ms. Sandhya, please welcome Mr. Deepak Batra ji. Thank you.
Yeah, today it's the I think the most awaited speaker we're all looking forward to. Not that the others are unimportant, but more interesting insights we do expect from Mr. Deepak. Mr. Deepak Batra is an alignment coach, an entrepreneur, and author of Amazon's #1 bestseller book, Grow Your Money Tree, and founder of Abundant Living. And he's a certified global consultant with Procter Gallagher Institute of Bob Proctor. And he has been coached and mentored by Bob Proctor and most renowned Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad coaching team and many others. So he's understood and learned and applied all these principles of mindset and financial freedom. And he has manifested his big dream of financial freedom. As we hear that thought of the word freedom itself, like we are breathing, and finance added to it is making it even more, there is more glory to it. He's an engineer by academic qualification, and he's worked in the HVAC industry for 30 years in leadership roles. Now he has cooled the human body, especially now it's summer in India and Gulf it's always hot. So he has cooled our human bodies, and now he's also helping the human minds to raise their awareness and increase their capabilities and potential and strengthen them in all aspects of life. So we welcome you, sir, and looking forward to your insights.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Financial literacy, financial freedom, and the right mindset. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Dr. Srividhya ji, for having me here, and then thanks Sandhya Shri for wonderful introduction and all the speakers. So I was listening all the speakers. I have made notes, and those are wonderful insights. And what I will do, like say, okay, starter is over, main course is over, so now it is dessert. So I will complement what they have said. How many of you agree that if every individual in the world, if they're financial well managed, the world will be in better financial position? Raise your hand. I agree that. Correct. Yeah. So I'm talking about individual finance. And before I start, I will say one quote by our visionary leader of Dubai, Sheikh Mohammed. He says, "Future belongs to those who can imagine it, design it, and execute it." Now, if you see, pay attention to the word imagination. It has to do with mind. Unfortunately, most of the people, they use imagination against them in the form of worry. Now, when Mr. Venki says VUCA, and most of the people, they are busy with and worrying about VUCA. And the moment they allow those inputs, they lose the control. And what Mr. Balaji says, that our senses are like 5 horses. And mind is like chariot. And when we control those senses with our mind, we can achieve any goal. Now, next one I will add is my mentor Bob Proctor's very favorite quote, or learning from him. He says, financial freedom or success is 95% mindset and 5% strategy. Now, unfortunately, opposite importance or weightage is given in this world. We believe a lot about strategy and less about mindset. Now, why it is? Because now if I ask about me, I learned about mind at the age of, or I started learning about mind at the age of 49. I never learned in school. I did engineering, I did many corporate trainings, but nobody taught on mind and money. Now, 2 important subjects are missing in our curriculum, education. Do you agree this conventional education is missing these 2 components, mind and money? And both are important to design our well-being. Now, well-being is not only financial well-being, it is mental well-being, emotional well-being, spiritual well-being, physical well-being. And all well-beings are again connected with financial well-being. So I will just little bit connect these dots. And what Mr. Venki says about VUCA, it's very perfect. Like, see, volatility. Now, against volatility is vision. Now, vision is using imagination. We have a choice to create the picture of what we want, but unfortunately, we keep creating pictures of what we don't want. Thank you, Mr. Venki, for clarifying and giving those two words, the volatility versus vision. Then comes uncertainty and understanding. Now, when we have understanding, like, see, some people during COVID, now COVID came, COVID was a situation, world has gone through it. And that was, at least in my lifetime, I can say that was the only event where the entire world was affected. Not only one country or one city or one region, entire world. But do you agree that in that situation, many people, they made fortunes? Many new model like paradigm shift has happened, massive changes has happened. And now those changes are continued. Like one is work from home, online education, many things have happened. Now, I share this model actually. This is like, I learned from Bob Proctor again. And this model is by his mentor, Buckminster Fuller. And he was world's, you can say, one of the best thinker and architect. And he says we cannot change the reality by fighting with existing model. Now, this looks like COVID. I am having this model. I help my clients with this for more than 4 years. So it is not after COVID, but it looks like COVID. And when COVID happens, many people felt that their business model has stopped working. There was no possibilities. There was no, you can say, opening. There was nothing. They lost hope. But then what Buckminster Fuller says, that you have to create a new model to change the reality. Now you can see this model has a lot of space, possibility. Now this is always, if you have read book of Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, he says every challenge has equal and opposite opportunity. Now that's where the mindset comes into picture. And what I learned and what helped me to achieve my financial freedom is this, that learning about mind. Now, financial freedom is one of the best gifts I had given myself, and many of my clients, they achieved this. So, third word given by Mr. Venki was complexity. Now, against complexity is clarity. So, complexity is like holding too many pictures. Like, see, we make matter complex. We think, say, our mind can hold only one picture at a time, but we give too many pictures. And that's why there is no clarity. So against complexity is clarity. Thanks, Mr. Venki, for giving me these words. And ambiguity, against that is adaptability or learning culture. Now imagine that if every country has a learning culture, every corporate has a learning culture, everybody invests their time. It is like, see, that's where the thinking comes into picture. We stop thinking. There is a statistics given by Bob Proctor's mentor, Earl Nightingale. He says only 1% people in the world, they think. 2% people, they think they are thinking, and 97% people rather prefer to die than thinking. And he says thinking is not mental activity. Thinking is reasoning. Thinking is asking ourselves that what I am doing, is it taking me in the direction of my goal? Is it right use of my time? It is right use of my money. It is right use of my energy, which is not happening. People just spend hours and hours on television, hours and hours on social media. They are not thinking. And then this is, they don't have time. They are overwhelmed. It doesn't happen. Thinking is one of the mental gifts. So I will cover a little bit about money. Now, what is money? We feel that money is a paper or currency. Now, money is what I learned from both mentors, Bob Proctor and Robert Kiyosaki. This is, money is the reward we receive in return of services we give. When we give services in quality and quantity, we receive money. So there is a law of, there is a universal law, and there is a law of compensation. Now we are from different countries, and every country has different laws, correct? Like Dubai, in Dubai we live, there are traffic laws, there are immigration laws, there are tax laws, there are visa laws, there are residency laws, and we follow those laws. We know that if you don't follow the laws, there will be consequences. And that is applicable for every country, every city. But we live in universe. How many of you agree that universe operating some laws? There are some fixed laws. We never question, day, nights are happening, seasons are changing, trees are growing, babies are born, many things are happening. Now, unfortunately, we have missed that part of universal laws. So there is some law called law of cause and effect. So this is the acorn seed which I got from Bob Proctor. I was going there for my trainings with Bob. I was traveling from Dubai to Canada, learning from him all this wisdom which helped me. So he gave me this. And he says this is a acorn. Now this acorn has ability to turn as an oak tree, subject to first I make a decision to plant. Now I have this since last 4 years. Even though it is having potential, it's not growing. So same way as a human being, we have potential, like what Mr. Balaji says, we have that ability. But then as we are not using it, we are not losing it. So this seed, when I make a decision to plant, then I need a fertile soil. So same way for our dream, imagine that this dream of financial freedom, everybody wants. But only wish, hope or interest will not help unless it is turning as a burning desire. The moment it turns as a burning desire, the switch will happen. The universe will start connecting all dots. Our mind starts looking and attracting those opportunities. But as we don't have this, unfortunately, we didn't learn about mind, we missed that. So do you agree that this needs the right soil, fertile soil? If I go to the Dubai desert or on the beach, or there is a mango seed, I have this mango seed. And if I plant on the beach or desert, and then every day if I go and water, is it going to grow? It's not going to grow. So many times what we do, we plant those dreams of financial freedom in the wrong soil, or we don't remove the weeds. Now imagine that you have a garden, you have fertilized like soil farm, but in that farm nothing was planted earlier, and there are weeds. So do we remove those weeds first and then plant the seeds? Now, same thing we have to do with our dreams. But do you agree that we have a lot of beliefs about money? And one particular belief is, we say that money doesn't grow on tree. Money is root of all the evils. Rich people are greedy. To earn more money, you have to work hard. All those are weeds. And those weeds are planted the time we are born. It's based on our environment. Now, all the audience, suppose if I want you to think what best income, annual or net worth you want to create. Think about the figure. You have your own figure. But if I ask you now that imagine that you were born into, say, Warren Buffett family or Mukesh Ambani's family, would you still think about same amount, or that amount is multiplied maybe 100 times or 1,000 times? So what has happened? Mental environment is changed. The moment we change mental environment, our thoughts are changed. Our belief system is challenged. But unfortunately, we are programmed to be logical, practical, and realistic. How many of you agree with this? That be realistic. In Hindi, they say, "Jitni chadar hai, utna pair phailao." These are all those statements which are unconsciously controlling us. So I'm not going to talk about strategy. I'm going to talk about mindset, because unless that mindset is not corrected, no strategy will work. And which I learned with hard lessons. Learning from Robert Kiyosaki about financial freedom, but 5 years my results were not changing. But that took me to Bob Proctor, because I was having burning desire. I wanted to be out of rat race. I wanted to be financially free. I wanted to use my time the way I want to use, and I wanted to opt for freedom of choice. But Bob Proctor helped me to build those pictures. And very first question he asked me, that when I am financially free, what I would be doing, how my life will be. And being me as an engineer, it was always left brain thinking, logical thinking. I was only believing in what I can see, formulas, drawings. And this idea never came that I need a picture, how my life will look like. But since then, things have changed. And then I've decided to do this and help people with this awareness. So, little bit about money I spoke. Money is reward we receive towards the services we'll provide. Now there is a law of universe, which is a secondary law. It's a law of compensation. Now primary law is law of cause and effect. Whatever we plant, we shall reap. Or law of, you can say, sowing and reaping. So same way related to money, there is a law of compensation. You're earning income or profit. Now if you're a business owner, it is profit. If you are in job, it is earning or income. Depends on three things. need of what you do. Now we know that what we are doing is how well it is in demand in the world, how well people need this. Your ability to do it and difficulty in replacing you. Now this is applicable in business. As a business owner, we need to position ourselves. To position ourselves, we need to create our ability. We have to continuously work on ability. So he was always telling Bob Proctor that if you are not updated, you are outdated. Now we update our devices, correct? Like we use this device, and regularly we get message that new version is available for 16.1, 16.2. It keeps coming, and we do it. But what about ourselves? Our version, we have hardly few people are updating, and unless that is not updated, it will work incrementally, it will work temporarily. But if somebody wants exponential growth with permanent change, it needs to be worked at the source level, which is the mindset. So mindset is something which I will just share about this model of. So whatever Mr. Venki was telling and Mr. Balaji was sharing, I will explain a little bit on this. So these are our 5 senses. What we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Okay. And this is mind. Imagine that this is mind. This big circle, and this is body. Yeah. Body tells what mind gives command. Mind is like a control center, and body tells, body follows the command. So this is upper half, if you see, it is a conscious mind, lower half is subconscious mind, and this is body. Now conscious mind is where all the information we collect. So conscious mind connects us with our outside world. Right now you are receiving this information by using your 2 senses, see and hear, correct? Seeing and hearing, and it is going, and if this resonate with you, you will emotionally involve with it. You will say that, yes, it makes sense. But most of the time what we do, we allow information using our senses, mostly unwanted information, say VUCA information, volatility. Now today in the newspaper, front page, I think it was there, or inside something, there is an article about recession. The moment we get that information, what happens? We will have worry and doubt. Correct? Like when we are not prepared, when we are not having financial freedom, we will have worry and doubt. Now, do you agree that worry and doubts are negative thoughts? So this part is where our thoughts are created. Now this part doesn't understand whether it is a positive thought or negative thought. It's like the seed you plant. Soil will not understand whether it is a corn seed or cucumber seed or poison seed. Same way, thoughts of worry and doubts are like seeds. It goes here in subconscious mind and it creates the emotions. So subconscious mind is called emotional mind. Now thoughts of worry and doubt, lack of money, recession, maybe uncertainty, maybe possibility of losing job, all those kind of things creates fear, frustration, anger, jealousy, guilt, resentment, which are all outcome of those worry and doubt. Now what happens? Body reflects what emotions we are in. So if that negative emotion, it will be reflected as negative vibration. Now negative vibration, anxiety. Nobody loves to express anxiety. We always want to show other people smiling. Even we don't want to indicate our family members, loved one also. So we suppress. Suppression turns into depression. Depression turns into disease. And that leads to disintegration. Now opposite to ignorance is knowledge. Knowledge brings understanding. So what Mr. Venki says, understanding. Understanding will say that, okay, world is full of abundance. There is enough money. There are enough opportunities. What I have to do is update me. Understanding will bring faith. So opposite to fear is faith at this level. Faith will bring well-being on positive vibration. Well-being you would love to express. You will not suppress it. You will express. Expression turns into acceleration. And acceleration will put body at ease. And that will create something which we want to create. That can be better world, that can be better our life, anything. Now this is the model. For me, it took 7 years to understand this model. And I learned from the master himself. But this you can apply in anything. Let it be relationship, emotional well-being, physical well-being, everything. And this model he calls paradigm shift. So if you want to shift our paradigms, we have to shift from ignorance to knowledge, specialized knowledge. And then little bit about financial freedom. What is financial freedom? It's when your passive income is more than monthly expenses, you are financially free. Then you can work on your passion. You have a lot of freedom of choice. So last 2 weeks back, I went to India for trekking. Now people say at 56 age, it is very challenging. I did it. 2 years back, I did skydiving. I loved it. I opted this life which I'm living now. But yes, I'm adding value into people's life. I leave everyone whom I meet with impression of increase. That is another universal law. When you leave everyone with impression of increase, universe works in your favor. Then comes abundance mindset versus lack and limitation mindset. See, we are programmed. From school itself, we are programmed for competition. When we write exam paper, we are told that not to help other person. But does it work in real business world? It doesn't work. We have to collaborate. So with competition mindset, we always feel that if that guy is getting more, very less will be left for me. So we are, or most of the people are programmed with lack and limitation mindset. But when we know that there is enough in the world, let it be money, we never question there is enough air or water in the world. There is enough air to breathe for everybody. Same way about prosperity and abundance. We live a world which is full of abundance. Habits, money habits. So I was in training in Chennai a week back, and my mentor was telling that there are 4 types of people on money: savers, spenders, avoiders, and monk. Now there are people who avoid. They don't want to look at their financial situation. They don't want, because they know that it will be scary. Some people are spenders. So Robert Kiyosaki says that people who have habit of spending everything what they earn, and they are not building any assets, they will never be financially free. So to have that financial freedom dream, one has to be, I don't say saver, but you have to think where your money is going. I was taught by my mentors that make your assets to buy your luxuries, not your money to buy luxury. You are earning with your hard work. Let that money to work as an asset. I learned from Robert Kiyosaki about real estate, and I created my financial freedom based on real estate. I have real estate passive incomes which keeps coming, but I enjoy coaching and I help people on that. So that habits of, are you using money, time and resources in a right way or no? Habits, spending habits. Something called instant gratification, delayed gratification. Many people, they want to reward themselves immediately. The moment bonus comes, 250,000 or 300,000, they will have a picture of Mercedes or Tesla. Now we deserve that, but when little bit of financial literacy can make big change. Let that money to work for you, let that come as a passive income, and then fund your luxury. That is another way of thinking, but that education is missing in conventional education. Before I close, we have 6 mental gifts. So we have 5 senses, we have 6 mental gifts. So imagination is one. Imagination is our ability to create picture, and we can create any picture. We can create picture of life we want to design. That is ability is given to us. So what is the difference of human being and animal? 5 senses are given to animal also, but the 6 mental gifts are not given to animals. Imagination, like Sheikh Mohammed says, future belongs to those who can imagine it, design it, execute it. Imagination, we have ability to create the life we want. Everything we see around us is created first in mind and then physical. Let it be anything, like say this box, this iPod, everything was like first created in mind. Anything you see around, like furniture, your clothes, the garments, jewelry, watch, first it was created in somebody's mind. So using imagination. Second one is will. Will is ability to hold one picture at a time. What Mr. Venki says, complexity doesn't help people, clarity helps. So will is our ability to hold one picture at a time. Then comes thinking, reasoning. We have to ask everything we do, the way we use our time, the way we use our money, the way we use our resources, energy, everything. When we ask that, is it helping me to achieve my big goal or no? If answer is no, we have to do something different. And then perception. Now, COVID, I gave example. COVID was COVID, but many people, they made the fortunes, they changed the model. They immediately changed the model. I know many people who have changed the model and they become successful. Some people were waiting for COVID to get over and they are still at the same place. Opportunities are everywhere. It's having attitude to develop that opportunity. Memory, fifth one. Memory is like, say, there is no good memory or bad memory. There is a trained memory, untrained memory. The moment you use memory for somebody criticize you, somebody told your own mistakes, your own guilt feeling, your own losses, you will start having those negative feeling. Maybe anger, somebody criticize you, anger. Maybe you made a mistake, guilt, all those things. But we have a lot of wins also in our life. The time we were born till now, we have a lot of wins. The moment we remember our small wins, the shift will happen. But we need to train that. And then comes intuition. Intuition is like answers are all around us. We live in a world which operates on frequencies. Wherever you are right now, which country, we are surrounded with millions of frequencies. And that frequency can be solutions, answers, thoughts, ideas. Unless we are not tuned to that, we'll miss that. So these were the 6 mental gifts. And hope that was like I'm within time, or is I exceeded time, or it is?
Definitely, sir. You're within time, and we actually don't want to stop your session because it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. So you're.
No one would dare to do that, sir.
Yes.
No, I still have to. I value your time, so I have condensed a lot. This same information I can take full day. But then I was rushing on this, so I value your time.
Wonderful, wonderful. Ms. Sandhya Balaji, would you like to add on to that?
I have so much to add on, but due to time constraint, I just have one short question for all the speakers, which anybody can answer. All throughout the day, we have been talking about mindset in various forms. And the lack of that aspect in the education sector in any part of the world, whether it is risk appetite or creativity quotient, all that begins with the mind. So how can we include it in the education?
Sorry. Anything in particular to Mr. Deepak's session? We will summarize Mr. Deepak and then we'll go on to the speakers for general.
Yeah, with Mr. Deepak's session, I have only one thing to ask. Do you think the world would have been better with a barter system? Without a cryptocurrency or a cash currency?
Okay, I'm not expert on that, but definitely bartering is nothing but exchange of value. Like, see, money was created just to make things easy to exchange. So money made our life easy.
Became a part of it. We would have been more clear if we had a barter system, is what I've always felt.
But then see, like and Robert Kiyosaki was
value as a person we would have had as humans.
No, correct. Yeah, so it is everything. Like, see, there is a perception. It was good. It may be good. It may not be good. Both ways. But money is like, say, money is the measuring instrument. Money is the only way you can measure. Other things, emotions cannot be measured. But both of my mentor, this is money plays very important part in our life. We should not ignore that because money gives a lot of freedom of choice. And money gives opportunity to reach to many people. Like, see, Bob was giving example that sitting at his home in backyard, he was having a studio. It was like a TV studio. And the moment COVID happened, Bob was able to reach anywhere in the world. And he has helped millions of people during that bad time. So money is good. It is a tool. It will. And Robert Kiyosaki was telling that money will make you more of who you are. If you are a good person, money will make you more good. If you are not good person, money will make you worse.
Thank you. And Dr. Mamta Chawla, you have raised your hand. I think you have a question there.
Yeah, actually, I want to thank you and Deepak sir. It's worthwhile. I was traveling and it's just been last 20 minutes, hardly 15 minutes. And Deepak Bandra sir, the way he has actually promoted co-optation rather than competition, I really appreciate and I really salute Deepak sir. First of all, Dr. Srividhya, speakers are always the best. And really, Deepak sir, in these 15-20 minutes, the type of mantras you have shared with the audience, I am really feeling worthwhile being in this meeting and being part of this platform. The way you have said that, yes, we are different. It's not competition. It's not like cheating in the examination, how we need to think about surviving together and how we can enrich others' lives. I really salute you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So simply you're explaining to really live the life to the fullest. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mamta.
Thank you.
And thanks to mentors like who helped me with all this enlightenment. If without mentors, I was also one of the person in rat race, but then they helped me to come out.
Sir, how many of us are really willing to share these kind of things with others? I'm so sorry, we are so selfish. The way your skin is glowing, your face is glowing, and you are sharing your feelings with us. That yes, I need to be with the society. In case we are having these kind of feelings, and most of us are educators, then we can really change this world. Then there's a purpose of being here in these kind of platforms when we are thinking beyond ourselves. So in competition, you're saying for competition that we need to survive together. So I really appreciate, yes, everything starts from first mind. So you have very well explained the way you have prepared, the metaphor you use, those five senses in the brain, and then you compared with animals. Yes, we are miracle of God, we are human. So how
you won't believe I didn't prepare anything. You won't believe I didn't prepare anything. I was just listening the speakers. I was making notes on my screen, and universe was giving me all those ideas.
Brilliant.
I didn't prepare for this. I didn't prepare. I was in 6 hours Vipassana today morning. So I just came from Vipassana at 2 o'clock at Dubai time, and 2:15 or 2:20 I was on the screen. So you see, sometimes when you have a feeling of giving, leaving everyone with an impression of increase, universe will make it happen.
Thank you. Thanks for your kind words.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Mr. Sukumar. That was a wonderful session. That was quite insightful. Really, I mean the word insightful. They're quite informative. And it was right from the bottom of your heart and from the soul. You could see that you're able to communicate. Starting from COVID, treating COVID is nothing but a blessing in disguise, which has taught us the metacognition abilities to develop innovators' mindset to address the challenges, challenge those challenges that we are facing. Then equipping ourselves right from with the virtue of resilience, talking in correlation with the oak tree, with the oak bud that you had. Moving ahead, like from one single oak where tree is able to develop 4 more, why not we do that? So really, it was really insightful. Moving ahead with a vision, definitely as relating to it. When you say that you don't look at an elephant, people will definitely look for an elephant. That's what the human psychology is all about. And when you say that you don't think about a problem, our mind will go behind the problems. Rather, like you had a very precisely comprised it an innovator's mindset, developing worthy mindset such that you're able to combat the battles, saying that what you see, that you receive. When you receive, you conceive. What you conceive, you're going to pursue. As you pursue, you try to achieve it. And that's what becomes your destiny. That's sow a thought, reap an action, sow an action, reap a habit, sow an habit, reap a character, sow a character, reap a destiny. And that's why you're going to design your own destiny and take it forward. So that you summarize so well in your eloquence, really. And with the cause and effect, you're related to the cause and effect. That was too very comprehensive of that. And definitely it was a brilliant session. In the end of the day, where you have really given us the knowledge, such with the exploration, such that you're able to, we are like a stained glass who just glow with the spectrum of our own senses. So what you think, that's what you're going to become. So that's
this is my book. This is my book. If you see, my book is not more about money. It's about all these principles, mindsets.
Yeah. Yeah,
through your money.
So thank you so much, sir. It was quite insightful and so comprehensive, and it was quite educative. And definitely, you have just thrown us with knowledge today. Definitely, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity to connect with all those great speakers and all of you. Thank you.
Definitely, we all have benefited with that, and thank you so much. Thanks for your presence. Well, I didn't summarize Mr. Balaji's session before we end. That was more related to the topic of financial sustainability. Right, he was talking about subgroup setting bodies. Just a quick, comprehensive compilation of exactly what he was mentioning there. With that, we are going to end the session. Thank you so much. Like an adoption of the enhanced cooperative managements that he just mentioned about bank international settlements, and also like inclusion community, within the inclusion community, with a depth in discussion, building in awareness of the knowledge of exactly what the financial inclusion is, and how the adoption of this financial inclusion can enhance one's life, business, and also take it forward for any kind of progression that is being involved in it. And well, it is not only, so as you rightly mentioned, it starts with one as a person, and then you take it forward to your business. From the business, you are able to inflict a community. From the community, you're going to contribute this brilliant contribution over there, Mr. Balaji. Really, I think it's quite insightful there. And well, talking to Mr. Venkis, again, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was very passionate, and we could feel that you were talking from the bottom of your heart, definitely. And addressing every single issue of the business, which has been presently, like people are facing on day-to-day activities. That was quite relatable, that we were able to relate each and every one of the instances that you were covering in your speech, that well, I'm into it. Am I facing it? Yes, I am facing it. How am I going to cover it? There was no solution over it. Thank you so much. And Mr. Venki, definitely. And it was brilliant, and it was very insightful. And talking about the digital inclusion, which we think that it is we always think that it is going to challenge us, but whereas it is not a challenge, it's more like a knife. How we use it, that's what we are. If you're going to use it for a threat, if you're going to use it as an enemy, well, it's going to inflict the way that we think. And if you're going to use it as a servant, well, very important. Money or even these scientific inclusions or the scientific discoveries which come in, we should know how to treat it. We should not try give an empowerment to them to overpower us. That's what is the thing that we should take care of. Thank you, Mr. Venkat. That was quite insightful. Before we end the session, we will not be able to open the forum to the other speakers, but we'll try and do it via voice. So we would look forward for more and more cooperation, more and more collaboration with every one of you, and we take this opportunity for all those people who have patronized us right from the beginning, right from the inception until this day. Really, it was great, wonderful having you all here, and with all your great support, we'll be able to do much more towards our objective. As our objective, as I said, we will prepare a module, we'll prepare a journal, and we'll prepare a patent which will be submitted to the Government of India. That's what we're looking at. Thank you so much, and over to Ms. Sandhya. Would you like to contribute more on that? Thank you.
It's again a noble vision that we are carrying, and let us all work towards a beautiful idea that will make this world a more beautiful place to live with all sorts of abundance. And as Mr. Deepak Batra said, all the miracles begin in the first place in the mind. So we have started that, and I'm sure we will manifest that, make this world a better place to live in.
Very true, very true. Every single step is a big leap to fly high. Sure. Thank you so much. And anybody would like to contribute from the audience, thank you for your wonderful support. You all have been a wonderful audience. I would like to take a mention of Dr. Bhagwan Lal Ji here, and I missed to give him a certificate last week. He said, "Ma'am, I think it's not fair." And every time he just us with his share. So would like to hear from you, sir. Please, Dr. Bhagwan Lal Ji. Thank you. My apologies.
आज का जो सेशन रहा, सेशन तो हमेशा होते हैं, मगर किसी कोने से कुछ आज अलग था। सभी को मेरी तरफ से दिली मुबारकबाद हो। सभी अभिनंदन के एवं स्वागत के योग्य है। क्या अभिनंदन करूं, क्या स्वागत करूं, क्या आभार, आपका आभार करूं, क्या शुक्रिया अदा करूं, क्या सोचूं, क्या करूं, मगर सबके लिए, मेरा सबके लिए एक साथ अभिनंदन, एक साथ अभिनंदन। तो मैं एक जो कविता शेयर करना चाहता हूँ। तो आज के समय में जो कुछ तो विचार, हाँ बिल्कुल छोटा ही है, बिल्कुल। मानव जीवन मिला भाग्य से, मत इसको बेकार करो। मानव जीवन मिला भाग्य से, मत इसको बेकार करो। सांसों की पूंजी प्रश्न कर रही है, सांसों की पूंजी प्रश्न कर रही है। तो कुछ तो सोच विचार करो, कुछ तो सोच विचार करो। बीत गया सुनहरा बचपन, बीत गया सुनहरा बचपन, तो सारा लाड प्यार मनुहारों में, सारा लाड प्यार मनुहारों में। बचपन में भी कई अनगिने प्रश्न किए, बचपन में कई अनगिनत प्रश्न किए। माँ ने ममता का सहारा दिया, माँ ने ममता का सहारा दिया। यौवन की दहलीज पर आते ही, यौवन की दहलीज पर आते ही मन फंस बैठा विषय विकारों में, मन फंस बैठा विषय विकारों में। मगर यौवन में कुछ कर गुजरने का जज्बा सिखा गए, जज्बा सिखा गए। अब आते हैं वृद्धावस्था में। वृद्धावस्था में आते ही रोगों ने तन को घेर लिया, वृद्धावस्था में आते ही रोगों ने तन को घेर लिया। बीमारी का घर बन गया, हम समझ न गए, हम समझ न गए। मंजिल कैसे मिल पाती, आज का जो सेशन, मंजिल कैसे मिल पाती जब पथ ने ही मुंह फेर लिया, जब पथ ने ही मुंह फेर लिया। अब सत्कर्मों की नाम में हम सभी बैठे हैं, इस सत्कर्मों की नाम में हम सभी बैठे हैं। सत्कर्मों की नाव बनाकर भव सागर को पार करो। प्रश्न का उत्तर न मिल पाया, कुछ तो सोच विचार करो, कुछ तो सोच विचार करो। हर मानव है अकेला, हर मानव है अकेला। झूठ जग का नाता है, झूठ जग का नाता है। तो सत्य कहाँ गया, सत्य कहाँ गया। साथ कोई न आता, साथ कोई न आता, न ही कोई जाता है। ये संसार निराकार है, ये संसार निराकार है। सभी मुसाफिर, हम सभी मुसाफिर चलते फिरते, दुनिया रैन बसेरा है। सभी मुसाफिर चलते फिरते, दुनिया रैन बसेरा है। 4 दिन की चांदनी, फिर वही अंधेरी रात है, फिर वही अंधेरी रात है। मगर आज अंधेरी रात को तो सभी ने जगमगा कर दिया, जगमगा कर दिया। एक जुनून और एक जुनून का जज्बा, एक जज्बा छोड़ गए। भूल भुलाए में फंस कर तुम्हें, भूल भुलाए में फंस कर तुम हमें कभी ना भूल पाना। आज का सेशन, भूल भुलाए में फंस कर तुम हमें कभी ना भूल पाना। ये मानस के राज हम, कुछ तो विचार करो, कुछ तो विचार करो। रंग बिरंगे फूल देखकर, इसमें रंग बिरंगे सभी भी आ गए, फूल भी थे, रंग बिरंगा न क्या पता, रंग बिरंगे कैसी कैसी तितलियां भी थी। तो उसके साथ में प्रकृति के मानस अंश भी थे। रंग बिरंगे फूल देखकर मन अपना भूल गया। उस बात के मालिक को भूल न जाना, उस बात के मालिक को भूल न जाना। विजय कुमार सालविया जी के लिए कि जो बात के मालिक है उनको कभी भूल न पाना, अपने दिल से, अपने दिल से। धन दौलत की चकाचौंध में, धन दौलत की चकाचौंध में मन को मस्त बना बैठे। आज का जो सेशन था कि मन को आप मस्त बना बैठे। मूल्यवान पारस को तजकर, मूल्यवान पारस को तजकर अपना समय खर्च करके लोग सभी आए हैं। पत्थर को अपना बना बैठे, पत्थर को अपना बना बैठे। अरे मानस कुछ तो विचार करो, कुछ तो विचार करो। बीत गए वह उमराव के दिन, बस 2 ही है। बीत गए उमराव के दिन, कुछ तो याद करो। अपने चिंतन मनन से कुछ तो विचार करो, कुछ तो विचार करो। जग की नीड़ में फंसे रहो मन, गफलत में ना नादानी में, गफलत में ना नादानी में, कमल कीचड़ में भी खिल सकता है। दुनिया में ये रहो कि आपको कोई भूल न पाए, आपको कोई भूल न पाए। इस सेशन को, ये सेशन हमेशा सदा सदा के लिए अजर अमर रहे। कोटि कोटि धन्यवाद, कोटि कोटि शुक्रिया, साधुवाद, सबका अभिनंदन, सबका साथ और सबका अभिनंदन, और सभी की हंसी खुशी के साथ में इस सेशन को एंड ऑफ दिस बुलेटिन ओवर टू। ओके मैडम साहब,
ये आपको भगवान जी कहते हैं।
आपकी इस सुंदर कविता के बाद आपको हम कभी नहीं भूलेंगे।
भूल भुला में फंस कर पड़ा, हम
विचारों के साथ आज को हम प्रणाम करेंगे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, प्रणाम मैडम साहिबा, प्रणाम।
All the support. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Stephen Kimur, who is joined from Zambia. Dr. Stephen, would you like to say something, sir? Shrikant Kalukoji.
Thank you, madam. It was a great session. I hope I am audible.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It was a great session. In fact, what Bhadraji said was something like using Vidya for Avidya. The knowledge that has come from our ancient systems was mentioned by him in the modern man's language. And we need to use this. That's what we used to call in the Vedic philosophy as Vidya. And Avidya means the finance and the day-to-day chores. We need to use Vidya in way of wisdom to earn Avidya, what we say, growth in the materialistic world. Thank you very much. It was a great session. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kalukoji. Thank you so much. Thanks for all the support. It was really a wonderful session, and really, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful to all the speakers. That was a very brilliant session. I think of all the sessions, this was the outstanding one, rather, I would say that. Everyone has done a wonderful job and very great insights were shared. And end of the day, the 2 hours that we are here on this platform should definitely pave way for what we should collaborate with each other. We should start working with each other such that each one of us is able to benefit for the sake of ourselves. Celebrate. We celebrate it first from the self, and we are able to take it forward to the community as the way it is required. So that's what is the thing about. Yes. Anybody would like to add on that? I would definitely. I think Mr. Balaji wants to say something. He has unmuted himself.
Yeah. So the continuity of the sessions and the linking of it, where you have finally concluded health is wealth. That needs the imagination that you've shown in creating the series of events where it culminates in health is wealth is really laudable. Really looking forward to each of the sessions, either as a participant or a person who can listen to the virtues of life. Finally, we take nothing from this world. Then, unless you are healthy, then there is no point in enjoying whatever we have in life. So that message has really got into my mind. And you read my mind as well. Thank you very much.
That's some very good improvement for our life. Personally. And I would like to add on, as he said, health is wealth, and it is not just the physical health. Mental health should be given equal importance. We are actually heading to a crisis in the world. That is, we don't want anything unfortunate. So we rather take that precautious step and give we should take precaution and give more awareness about how important mental health is, and how a healthy mind is equally important, like a healthy body, is what we need to culminate to all the people across the world.
I will just add one thing, because before we close, what Sandhya Sri says, alignment. So like say, this is the spiritual part. So we are spiritual being, we have intellect, we live in physical body. So all three areas, alignment is important. Like many people, they just take care of physical, but they miss here. So they allow all kind of information from outside and spoil their mental health. Some people, when they are losing control here, they lose control on emotional well-being. and then actions they will lose, and then they lose financially. So all those are alignment is very important.
Absolutely.
I would like to add on that, sir, like the same that you mentioned about the 5 senses. It starts with the hand, and it is related to one of the myth from the Indian mythology, that is from Abhinay Darpanam. Yato hastaha, tato drishti. Yato drishti, tato manaha. Yato mana, tato bhava. Then tato bhava, yato bhava, tato rasaha. So it all starts with that, exactly with the 5 senses, and what just goes into your mind, that becomes your sense, and from the sense, it just becomes your living. That's what is.
It's like, say, this is the creation. Thoughts become feelings, feelings become action, action become results.
Yes.
Now that can be anything. Whether result we don't like, but if we don't control here, the results are going to happen.
Very, very true. So thank you so much. I think
you.
you're very enjoying the session so well. And it's definitely a positive sign. And definitely we will.
मैडम साहिब, इनके लिए मैं ये भी कहा मैंने, इनके लिए बांद्रा जी सर के लिए मैंने लिखा भी है अंदर कि अंधेरी रात में दीपक जलाए कौन बैठा है।
आपने ऐसे ही बड़ा कर दिया मुझको।
अंधेरों को प्रकाश में बदलने वाले दीपक बांद्रा बैठे, दीपक बांद्रा बैठे।
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you. Thanks a lot for. It is really compliment, Bhagwan ji. Thank you. Thanks for being allowing me here, and then it is really wonderful. Yeah. If I can impact one lives, it's fine. Thank you.
Please. Over to you, sir. Mr. Venkatesh Mahadevan, please.
I mean, after these great minds have spoken, I have nothing to say really. I'm sorry, I'm off my headset, but can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal, very empowering and illuminating. I think Deepak, Balaji, and Bhagwan ji, kabhi aapse kavita सीखेंगे. वक्त और मौका. तो but
बिल्कुल, आप तो सामने से दिख रहे हैं, शांति के दूत दिख रहे हैं, त्रिभुवन के नाथ लग रहे हो आप। क्या कहूँ क्या ना कहूँ, आपके मस्तिष्क में क्या पता विद्या की देवी घुसी हुई है, जो अपने ज्ञान का प्रकाश चारों ओर फैला रहे, चारों ओर फैला रहे।
Srividhya, great job. I think thank you, Sandhya, as well. Very, very like Balaji rightly said. I think the stitching together of the topics have been very good. So fortunately, it was not all of them were not standing out as silos. I think they all kind of coming together, and each one is as important as the other. I was a little skeptical when I started speaking. I said, "Oh my God, in the middle of so many giants, I'm going to speak." But I think after hearing everybody, I'm a little comfortable that I think there was somewhere. I think all of us kind of spoke similar things. So I'm really excited about it. But keep up the great work, Srividhya. Keep up the
your topic, your content helped me to build my content. So it was.
So Deepak ji, let's write a book together.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
We will compile everything together, and let's all make it forward to to India. So that's
Inshallah, let us take it. Let us take it.
Sure.
Looking forward.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Great work.
Thank
Any
you.
help?
Thanks everyone.
Let's all collaborate. Yeah. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Ms. Sandhya. Yeah, that was a great support. Really. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Good evening ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam.
Bye-bye.
Until we meet again till next Sunday. Sure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Till next Sunday.